Okay, cool. Hi, I'm Sparks Whitty, and welcome to the 252nd episode of the Fake Nerd Podcast, where we're going to tell you to not have a good read, have a great read.
Ooh.
We're here to talk about Free Guy
I cannot.
as a review, and of course, They Called Us Enemy. I
1.
am joined by Ben Magnet.
That is me.
Over
I'm on
here.
this side of the table this time.
Yes,
Audio listeners.
still on my right, as always.
Yeah.
And then further on my right is Ryan Eliopoulos.
Hey, it's me. I'm here. What's up?
That's awesome. And last at the end, there is Brandon T. McClure,
Hi.
desperately trying not to laugh.
I don't have anything to laugh about right now.
Fair enough.
5
Yeah.
minutes previous.
5 minutes previous. Hi guys.
It's been a
Hey.
day. It's been a podcasting day with
You know
these
what?
gents.
It has been a podcasting day.
You know what today reminds me of? Back before the pandemic, when we used to get together on one day and do 40 things.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. I'm glad we got to do it again. I kind of missed those days, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah,
Just
it was
making
a nice,
content with you guys.
was a nice day. This day was full of content. This week was full of content.
Lots of
Awesome.
It
content.
was.
We're developers. We're creators.
Thank you for reminding me that we have links in the description.
You're so welcome. That's what I was doing.
Cool.
Mhm.
Great.
Look at Sparks making sure we segue into that whole thing.
100% planned. That's all true.
There are 2 Fake Nerds watches in the description below.
Oh, snap.
There is
2.
What If, episodes 1 and 2.
Technically, you want to say 3 if you want to get crazy.
I guess so.
Mm, yeah.
Episode 1 and 2, and then Star Trek Lower Decks, episode 1 that I did with Downright Nerdy.
Season 2, episode 1. For those of you keeping score.
Yeah, season 2, episode 1. We did talk about season 1 as a whole, but yeah, Downright Nerdy. Michael Carls, he joins me for that one. We just recorded a new one with Cookie from Just a Little Podcast.
Woo! It's awesome.
So that'll be going up this week. But yeah, so what if we talk about the first 2 episodes? We kind of lump them together like we used to do for Mandalorian.
Woo.
And then Ben,
Yeah,
you have a thing.
I do have a thing. It's Basement Arcade Pause Menu where I sit down and talk with my good friend Cindy Jacks. Our pretty much just like almost every Basement Arcade, we totally go off the rails and we tangent. But the main air quotes here topic is us writing about video games because she is also a video game blogger, and her website is grownupgamergirl.com. Go check that out. It's an awesome website. Actually, funny enough, I'm in one of the articles because like what you two did before, I got into Fortnite.
Ooh, nice.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Getting them all.
Cool.
Anyone who's not already on the hook.
Yep. He's staring at me.
Not.
Yo,
Yo, man. Superman didn't work. Like,
You want to play as Superman?
Alan Grant might be like the last hope, but I think he's over.
And then Ryan.
Hey.
Oh, by the way, the Basement Arcade Pause menu is audio and video.
Yeah.
Both are up. Both are linked below for you audio listeners. And Ryan, you have a Downright Annoyed
Hey.
with movies.
Yeah, we talked about last Action Hero. That's that 1993. Some call it a classic. I think it's really fun.
I would call it classic.
Yeah, I think it's a lot.
love
I
it.
think it's really good. I think it actually ages really well because I looked it up. Like that movie didn't do very well. It also came out like the week after Jurassic Park came out, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was fighting the studio to try to get the movie away from Jurassic Park because he knew the movie wouldn't make money and he believed in it. And it turns out the movie bombed because it came out a week after Jurassic Park. That's
Just
a movie.
like Battleship.
We're going to talk about a movie, Free Guy. This movie has a lot in common with Free Guy. It's if you can call it Free Guy 0.1 or whatever. And I had a really good time talking about it. Check it
Yeah.
out.
So that'll be linked below. And that's it. That's really it. All we put out this week.
Yep, I did not have a link, so this is my last episode on the Fake Nerd Podcast. This is my farewell swan
sad,
song.
Sad Hulk music.
Here we are.
Do-do-do.
I made a promise and I failed.
Sure did. But you know what? House looks great.
The house looks
Looks-
great.
listen,
I did chores.
great.
The house looks great.
We'll have more coming up this week. I think Ben is also working on a thing. that
Yeah.
might be up this week.
Yeah,
Um,
it's gonna be up this week.
You just did a pause menu that you're really excited about. That should be up soon.
Holy shit! Yeah, I'll talk about the episode of Pause Menu when it's my turn to talk about my week.
And then there's a new Star Trek Lower Decks. So yeah, so a lot of cool stuff coming up, and I will get another new episode of Conversation. I did postpone it this week. Sorry, Ben. Because
Matt Damon.
I've had a trying couple of weeks, and last week was the first week that I was allowed to just kind of be happy.
Mhm.
So
Oh.
I
Happy.
Oh, I know that feeling, my friend.
So I was just like, I'm just gonna rest. But I've done most of the edit. I just need to record my bits, and then it'll be up this week on Thursday. I promise.
Just
Beautiful.
please make sure.
And
it's
if it's not up, I will leave the show.
oh,
Oh.
who's gonna get the equipment then?
I don't
Rock,
know.
paper,
I don't
scissors.
know. All right, that's all I got for the links. But who wants to do their week?
It's me. Hey guys, guess what? I played this game called Marvel's The Avengers. And this week we had this is a big Black Panther week, you guys. We got new episodes of Black Panther on What If, and we got the War for Wakanda expansion in Marvel's Avengers. There's not a colon. I just like to put colons there. Guys, Black Panther plays real great.
Black Panther?
Black Panther, these microphones are too good. Gosh dang it. Black Panther plays very well. If you play the game, you know everyone has like light attacks, heavy attacks, and then they have their own like intrinsic abilities. Like, you know, Hulk like gets more armor, so he can take more damage. Thor, like the Odin Force. Panther has his suit and his vibranium explosions, right? You know, when he gets enough kinetic energy, it goes off a big boom. So that's his special ability. You can do kind of like in Miles Morales, where you have like the Venom stuff, where you can do normal abilities, then you can like extra combo them with Venom stuff.
Oh, okay.
But Black Panther, you can do a combo and then hit the right trigger to use your vibranium thing, and it'll cause like a big explosion. So that's really cool. I like the mechanics a lot. Wakanda itself's beautiful. It's really great to finally have new enemies. Claw is fine. He's not the best villain. He's not written very well, but the boss fight is very cool. Very cool. Excuse me. They did a lot of reworking of the UI and like the HUD and stuff like that to make it a little more easy to access and a little less ugly. So that game is on the track. I keep hitting Ben's mic because I'm really vocal with my hands. I'm sorry about it. Yeah. So Black Panther's fun. There's like this vibranium, like corrupted vibranium event going on right now, and that's been fun to play as Iron Man and get like vibranium gear. So that game's a lot of fun. I'm sure I did some stuff with Sparks, but I can't remember any of it.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
I did a lot.
Yeah, I read a lot of Ghost Rider still. Really enjoying not just that character, just like the saga of Ghost Rider, because it's a mantle that's passed down. You know, reading a bunch of different Ghost Rider characters. Just loving that character. Legitimately might be like the most like aesthetically pleasing character in comics. Just like his look is just the coolest in comics, and like even if the comic's bad, you are always looking at a cool comic, which is really great, because sometimes, you know, you just have dudes in spandex and they don't look cool, but at least Ghost Rider's a flame and skull man. I read Kang #1. That comic rules. It did exactly what I thought it was going to do with Kang, and, you know, like what's it called, like streamline his origin story, but like add some new cool stuff to it. I think that book's really good. Check that out.
That book just come out, or
came out this week, baby.
Oh,
I got the Peach Momoko cover. Ooh, spicy.
God, I'm so far behind on my books. I'm scared to walk into the comic book
right.
store.
It's okay. That's why I read the #1s, because all the ones that are like issues.
No,
22
I'm scared
and stuff.
because my pull list is going to be like this.
Ooh. So you should just go and buy them, even if you're not going to read them, because then
That's a week.
I should. I dude, I haven't been since July.
Oh man, that your
I got a month. It's
doesn't
good.
exist anymore.
I doubt
they're pulling anymore.
Oh no, not that. I want to say, I bet though you go in there, your comic stack is going to be less than my weekly average.
Oh yeah.
Probably the last time I went in and I bought my books, I spent around $75 on them.
Oh no, I mean the stack.
The stack itself.
Not,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay, not how much I spent. All
I
right.
got a discount.
Yeah,
There's no way you can beat that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Lucky ducky.
Lucky bastard.
And I think pretty much everything else I did was Sparks. I watched Last Action Hero for Downright Annoyed, Downright Movies or whatever. I never remember the name of that thing. But Sparks, I'm sure we did. Oh, I know what we did. We watched Titans.
Yeah, that was going to be the first thing I was going to bring up too. So let's talk about Titans.
So, Sparks and I made the decision because season 3 is coming out, and there's a lot of new characters. Is coming out now. It is out now. And we're like, hey, we want to give it a shot, because Red Hood and Barbara Gordon and all these new characters. Like, we want to give it a shot, but we got to get through season 2. And at the point we were at, season 2 wasn't very good, because you remember the monologue that we gave about how shitty that one episode was.
Yes.
The episodes after that terrible episode weren't as bad, but they weren't great. I think the season 2 ended pretty mediocrely.
Yep. I would call the remaining stuff we watched very meandering and mediocre.
Yeah, it just felt like they just had no idea what to do with any of those characters.
The resolution to like the Slade story is beyond disappointing.
Yeah. And like I think that actor is really good, and I like that character, but like they just don't really. It just feels like they were meandering. Like we just had to wait to get to season 3 to do all the stuff we really wanted to do. But now that we're at season 3, I think episode 1 was pretty good. I think it is a vast improvement. The budget's much bigger. You can absolutely tell. You made a comparison of calling it like a web series.
Seasons 1 and 2, as we were finishing season 2, I realized like it is a web series with a larger budget. The first 2 seasons
like those
of Titans,
those like rated R Power Rangers.
Right, yeah.
I think the quality of the performances, the quality of the writing, all of it is like, this is a web series. This is a web series with a big budget.
Yeah.
It's just as sloppy and haphazard as that can be.
Yeah, and there obviously like was good stuff, like, or else I don't think we would have watched it. But like, but season 3, episode 1, like bigger budget, like you can tell the HBO Max money's there. And new characters that I actually really like. Like I like
Tim Drake.
Tim Drake's introduced, and he's a Black Latino character, and I think that's real, or a Black and Asian character. I think that's a really cool development for that character. I hope he sticks around. Yeah, I really like that first episode. I'm glad.
I saw an Easter egg from that episode where they introduced the other quote unquote Robins.
Yes, yeah. People have a problem with this take on Batman, but like you can't have a problem with him now because he's been this way since the beginning of the show. Like this Batman is not the same Batman that we know. He's kind of a jerk.
He's a cold asshole.
He's a cold asshole. Like he is very much the Kevin Conroy, like from the Elseworlds one, but before he got that old. Yeah, and I really like it. And like it's Ian Glenn from Game of Thrones, so like he's rocking it, and like he has his Boston accent. Yeah, I'm glad we kept with it.
Yeah, I like this first episode more. I'm still like, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. I heard something about the most recent episode that's made me go, I might end up dipping. We'll see.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh.
But we'll get there.
Yeah.
I think the show would have been stronger if it started at the point that it's at. Because like now they actually feel like they're a team. And everything from the first two seasons, like the first season they're never a team in the first season. And the second season, they spend so much time like breaking up the team after they briefly put it back together after they reveal that there used to be a Titans team. And we see some flashback stuff of that, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're actually a functional team. But it's really messy. And it's a show where you can tell like who they prioritize and who they don't.
Yeah.
And those who they don't, like, it's real. Oh, we didn't talk about. Okay, so they kill a character at the end of season 2, and I won't say who, but it's real stupid.
It's one of the
it's
worst.
So stupid.
Deaths.
It's hard for me to deal.
So
with.
like the big action scene happens, and like nobody dies, and then
two final boss fights happen,
and then just an accident in the scene happens, just like something falls down and kills a character.
Oh, I heard about this one.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Very stupid, and it's all the more stupid because that character, even in the episode, they're like, well, we're probably going to find a way to revive him.
Yeah. And she's on the poster.
But we do a funeral and everything, and they're on the poster for this season. So, like, it was, like, really stupid writing for a stupid death that I'm like, what is even the purpose of this?
Yeah.
Which I guess the purpose was to get Rachel out of the show for a while. Because that's all I can think of why it was useful.
And she's the worst character anyway. So.
She is. She's the worst character.
But like Barbara Gordon's introduced, and I think like she's pretty cool, and like they're doing
cool.
And like the stuff with Red Hood like that I've seen so far, I think is interesting. Actually, I like the way that they handle the Red Hood stuff. Like it incorporates like Batman stuff, but it doesn't really go into it.
In general, like my consensus remains pretty similar to like how it's been ever since Hawk and Dove came on the scene, which is that
they're still the best.
The secondary characters, the characters that the show tells you are the secondary characters, tend to be the better performers, tend to have the stronger character stories and arcs, but are constantly sidelined for bullshit that you don't care about. And I think that's still going to happen in season 3. I'm nervous about it, especially with like them introducing new characters where there's other characters who have been on the show for 2 seasons and haven't had their characters fleshed out.
Gar.
Gar is a big one.
Beast Boy. Honestly, Beast Boy has had the coolest scene in this first episode than he's had in the entire 2 seasons of the show. And it was like 5 minutes. And I'm like, man, you guys don't even care about this character, really. It's awful. I feel so bad for that guy. Yeah. That's Titans. Good enough to, I guess, keep watching.
Yeah. Did you want to?
I'm sure I got other stuff, but I don't remember. I'll remember in 2 hours.
Sounds good. Cool. I kept watching Godzilla Singular Point.
Rad.
It's really good.
I'm so excited.
I'm not done, but I'm close.
Mhm.
I really enjoy it. It's impressive to me how much they've captured the feeling of exactly how Showa era films handled like the progression of human characters, but they've done it in a modern show that's like echoing that, but it's still like super engaging, fun to watch. It's wild.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
I remembered one thing I did do. Ghost of Tsushima's director's cut came out, which is the PS5 upgrade, which adds a couple hours of new DLC and it gives it like the nice PS5 upgrade
And sepia tone, I hear.
that already existed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Kurosawa.
No. Sepia. Sepia is the like brown tint Western one.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I'm joking.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. That Kurosawa mode is not very good.
No, I know.
It's awful. Like it's not just black and white. It also makes the music like all old sounding, so it just sounds bad. And I'm like, I don't want to play a game like this. But it isn't. It looks so incredible. It is like it probably is the best looking game on PS5 right now. Like, it is stunning. I can't believe how good that game looks. Holy shit! I took a bunch of pictures on Twitter if you guys want to check that out. It's gorgeous. But yeah, that I played that game when it first came out over a year ago, and I wasn't super hot on it because also I was just not in the best state of mind at that time. And I acknowledge that now, and I realize this game is actually really cool. And it's doing a lot of things that I didn't appreciate at the time because I was looking at it like, oh, this game, what is this game not doing instead of what it is doing? And what it is doing is really cool, and it's a really unique take on open world game instead of just doing, hey, just go do the 1,000 things that are check marks on a map. I think it's really great. If you like Samurai, it's really cool. Again, it looks gorgeous, so gorgeous, and that's it. Bing bong.
Nice. So Godzilla Singular Point.
It's a great show.
Dragon Ball Super had a brand new chapter come out. It's really good. It's more of a Vegeta being awesome. Vegeta has a new form. I think I kind of hinted at that from the last chapter.
There was a lot of chatter about this online.
Yeah, it's got a sick ass name and a sick ass reason he calls it that, and I love it, which is so good. And I want to talk about it, but I won't because I'm not going to spoil. But
I'm intrigued.
it's so good. I will say that like he names it out of like spite against Kakarot.
Nice.
And he makes it clear that's why he's doing it.
I always
So-
love
Stupid
that-
Kakarot form.
I always love when you talk about Dragon Ball Z. You always say Goku, unless you're specifically talking from Vegeta's point of view in the
Kakarot.
story. In those cases, you say Kakarot.
Mhm.
that's the way it's got to be.
I just think
That's-
it's really funny that
yeah.
you've committed to that. And you've just always done it.
Yeah. It's great. I'm very pleased. I continue to be pleased. Really good. I watched What If, as did we all, and you can listen to our Fake Nerds Watch where we talk about that and go check that out.
So say
Uh,
we all.
It's real good.
It's true.
I read some Reign of X comics.
Whoa!
I'm making my way through slowly.
Downtown.
So I only read a handful, but I finished another thing. So once I finished that thing, I started reading some of those.
Mhm.
Just a little. This has been nice. It's good to start wheeling back in.
Little
I don't
nuggets.
have much to
Once
say
you
about that.
once you fall behind on the X-Men titles, it can be a chore
Mhm.
if you're getting all of them.
Yes. I finished Miles Morales' campaign. Finally.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Finally did it. I committed the time. I got it done. It's great. I'm not going to say a ton about it because I have copious notes, and we're going to do a Basement Arcade Pause menu talking about it in the very near future.
Boop, boop.
So, Miles Morales, really happy I played it. Good time.
Sweet.
I set aside some time while I was doing chores, ones that were easy to do while watching something, for the most part watching. And I did some CW catch up, which was finishing Supergirl up to this point because they stopped at episode 7. Because that season is weird. It's being split between the two usual television seasons.
Okay.
So that's really strange. So like their final season technically started in this previous television year,
Mhm.
but it's actually going to be finishing in this next television year. So it's kind of split across the two
Mhm.
in a strange way. But that's what happened because of the pandemic and Melissa Benoist's pregnancy.
Right.
So finished that, and that was fine. Not a lot to say about that, but Batwoman and Flash were most of what I was catching up on.
Oh boy!
So Batwoman decided that it wanted to tackle racist cops in Gotham and racist crows, which are the team led by Kane. What's his name? The Papa Kane.
Jacob Kane?
Jacob Kane, thank you. So it's kind of weird. It's only weird. Like, I think it's great. I understand that it's coming out of a response from what happened last year. It's a response to the Black Lives Matter movement. I don't think that these stories shouldn't be told, but it is weird when you have Black Lightning now existing in the same universe technically, but just on the same network for years, having directly dealt with this subject matter the whole time and treating it as like it's not a thing that they have to talk about every episode, but it is always there. And Batwoman just acts like it became an issue right now. And it's not their fault that it's that way. They do try to say like this has been going on for a while, but I'm like, we've had Black characters on this show never have to deal with this. And there's an amount where they try to lump that into saying that Luke Fox being the primary Black character, besides Sophie, who was one of the crows, which again, that's like that never came up. They make the crows like really seedy in this in these last few episodes, not even this season, in a way that the first season like just doesn't support in its material. Not the way Sophie looked at the crows, not the way she felt about being part of them, not the way Jacob Kane ran it. It's very what? So all of a sudden you notice that all of the crows are white, which they have not been, but all of a sudden they are. And Luke Fox gets kind of put in a place of like, well, he doesn't have a lot to say about this or comment on it or experience with it because he's very privileged because of his wealth. And it's just, it's only problematic, I think, in the sense that like, it doesn't make it feel like this has been happening in the world. It makes it feel like this is happening to these characters, but it's not a problem that actually can have existed externally because it's just coming up.
Do you
now.
remember the Arrow episode that was like dealing with like gun violence?
Yeah.
As if the entire like 6 seasons before hadn't been dealing with guns and stuff like.
Yeah, I think this is harder only because you have textual stuff that contradicts it if you look backwards.
Yeah.
Whereas like I think the problem is that it just suddenly happens and it's very clear. Like there's an episode where like this becomes the topic. Like there's a very forced moment at the beginning to get the conversation rolling with a GCPD officer who comes in and shuts down a fundraiser, and they make the optics of it that he's doing it because the person running it is black. And I'm like, okay. And that's what gets the ball rolling. But then all of a sudden, and I'm telling you, like all of a sudden you are made to notice that the crows not only are all white, but also all disrespect Sophie, which had not been happening before. And I don't think it's a problem that you can tell this kind of story. This just needed to be built up to a little better. If you're going to say like all of the crows you've seen around Sophie this whole time are part of this system and are shitty. And you either needed to weed down from the ones who weren't and turn it into this, or slowly have addressed that this has been going on.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They just go from 0 to 60 on it. So it's very like, I know why. It's good that you're doing something. This wasn't the best execution of this.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if it's contributing anything to the conversation other than saying we're aware. And I think that's the unfortunate part of it.
Right.
Is it's just kind of saying we're aware and we disagree with it, but I don't know that it's actually supplying anything of substance, which is a bummer because I'm sure best intentions were all abound.
Yeah.
But it just really, you feel that pivot, and that pivot hurts a lot. They're doing interesting stuff with Kate, though. Everyone's figured out that Kate's alive, and that's cool.
Cool.
She's battling her subconscious, which is now Roman Sionis's daughter. So,
Oh. Okay.
Roman Sionis has convinced her that she is his deceased daughter, come back, and so she's now having schizophrenia about that.
Okay.
Meanwhile, on Flash, Cisco left.
So I have watched in the last couple of weeks like video essays about some of these CW shows, and of all of them, I think The Flash is the one that unanimously is just like in the worst spot. Is that
Definitely right now? Yeah,
yeah, it seems
100%. I don't think it was. I don't think I necessarily would have put it there until last season, but this season, woof. Like really, really woof. They do this concept where like he and Iris, by trying to create a new Speed Force, actually gave like they keep saying like their energy that they put into creating this new Speed Force gave birth to new forces, and they literally have they are people who get possessed by these forces and become part of them. And the moment moment that like one person makes the analogy to Barry that they're like his kids, all of them, when they encounter him, start being like, so your dad. And I'm like, this is weird. This is just not. And it becomes this whole story about like them actually being a family because of that. And I'm like, this is so unearned and so strange.
Is that why I saw Nora?
Yeah, she's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's his daughter.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
But looks like is bad. And like so things with her don't go very good for a while. And I have a hard time believing that after all this, they'll still have a daughter named Nora. That's hard to buy. Anyway, not the best. But that wasn't the thing that really irked me about it. Cisco just left the show from where I'm at. And it was like it's like everybody was so done with it, even in having to do an episode about saying goodbye to him. And I'm like, I have not watched a show where like the cast who have been together for years Like, there's one scene where I genuinely feel like, oh, I see them all sad that they're parting.
Yeah.
But past that, the episode is structured and written in such a weird way where it just makes it feel like the characters and the cast are kind of driven to be somewhat apathetic about him leaving. And I haven't seen that in a while. I've seen a lot of long time actors leave shows on the CW and other places. And it's usually like you get the sense of like, oh, even if it's not a great episode, like, man, you got the emotions going, because that's a man, it's like total opposite. Very absent this. Sucked. Really a bummer.
Again, I haven't watched it in like a few seasons, but like this isn't the first time that Cisco's left, because the video I watched, like he was getting written off the show, but then he came back.
Yeah, so there's episodes where
they
like,
pulled a Glenn. They did a Glenn,
but they didn't do like a goodbye episode for
No,
him.
yeah,
He just wasn't there, and they were like, he's doing things where he's researching like Atlantis and stuff.
Yeah, but he was off the show, but then like they made like a big thing of him coming back.
It just felt like he was like, it felt no different than when like an actor isn't there because they're filming a movie or something. Like they didn't textually, they didn't make it resonate in the way that this is supposed to be, but this did not resonate, which was weird.
Gotcha.
Anyway, that's kind of a bummer. Last thing I want to talk about though is I finished something, and it's Chainsaw Man.
Yay!
Holy shit. God, I want to say so many things, and I don't want to say anything. So the main thing I do want to say is that I thought I was catching up, but I learned that I was finishing, because this finished in December. It's the end of part 1, but part 2 hasn't even been started yet. And from my perspective, if you just read this, it's like reading a full series. Like if it just stopped here, it's done, it's fine. I don't need more. I'm happy to have more. I don't need it. There's no cliffhanger. There's no big questions I feel were left unanswered. I feel like everything was on the table. So part 2 will be its own thing, I'm sure, in a new way. But I got everything I needed out of part 1.
Will it be, if there's a part 2, will it be Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z, or is this like the next season of Dragon Ball Z? What do you think?
I imagine
it would be a continuation, or is
I imagine it would be a continuation. I imagine it would be a closer comparison of Naruto to Naruto Shippuden, which is not the same as Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z. Those are like vibrantly different tones. I think the tone is going to say the same. You're just going to get like a time jump.
I just mean like the big time jump thing. Yeah.
I think you're going to get a time jump. Yeah. But I don't know that it'll be that
jump
big.
Between Naruto and Naruto Shippuden bigger than the one between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z?
No, it's only 3 years, 5 years, 3
would-
years or 5 years.
I wasn't aware of how far in the future Shippuden took place. Because
Yeah.
I know, don't they have kids?
No, that's
Boruto.
Boruto.
That's
That's the current running
That's the
series
one I was-
Boruto. Yeah, that's a much bigger jump.
Yeah.
Okay.
Naruto to Naruto
That's combat
Shippuden.
kids.
Naruto to Naruto Shippuden is pretty small.
Got
I'm
it.
pretty sure it is just 3 years.
I never saw Shippuden. I liked Naruto though.
You don't need to watch it, but I recommend reading it.
Okay.
But Chainsaw Man, I told Ryan this. It has been a while since I was reading something, and I didn't want to turn the page because I knew it was going to be bad, and I didn't want it. And having that true feeling of like, no, I don't want to do it. Chainsaw Man gave me that feeling. Chainsaw Man gave me that feeling pretty hard, which to me says like, wow, this really, really resonated with me. Stuff happens in those last chapters that is like puts the whole series up to that point into perspective. It's a 97 chapter series. And it is some of the most emotional and depressing shit I've seen in manga in a while. And it hit like a ton of bricks. Just really enjoyed it. And I think Chainsaw Man overall does have some flaws. There are some characters who like kind of come and go, but that's the point of them. They're not really there for you to connect with. It's just sometimes they're a little hard to track. But the ones that need to resonate do.
What's the name of that app you read it on again?
Viz.
I read it on the official Viz app. So
$2
you
a
could get a Viz subscription for $2 a month.
Ooh, that's cheap.
I went back and rewatched the anime trailer for Chainsaw Man, and now knowing what all that stuff is, I'm so excited for that anime. That shit looks amazing.
When does
that animation? I don't know. There is no release date yet. That animation already looks so good, but like knowing the context of like how these things are going to move and what they're doing, I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be a great show.
Hell yeah.
And knowing that part 1 is done, which means we're not going to get filler. This is going to be They haven't given an episode count, so everyone's like, if this is a 13 episode series, they're probably doing half of part 1. If it's 26 episode series, they're probably doing all of part 1. I'm kind of hoping it's 26 episode. They're just doing part 1 and being done, and then we won't see anything else for a while. It is great. I recommend it. I don't want to hype it up any more than that. And I will acknowledge, like, this was definitely a like personal experience of like, this is how this hit me, and it could hit people in different ways because it's not necessarily just like it's a fantastic story objectively. It is, you are going to get certain mileage out of how you connect with these characters and what the ultimate meaning of what's happening in the series hits you, and that's either going to get you or it's not. And I can't predict that.
Yeah.
But for me, it got me.
I love
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
my week.
Chainsaws.
Ben,
My week, I don't have a whole lot to talk about because guess who went back to work this week? I did.
Ben, we didn't stop working, so it's
No, because
okay.
I had my vacation and it was
No, I know.
awesome.
I'm happy for you. You can,
I mean, I'm the only one here unemployed.
yeah.
No, well, besides that, I didn't. The only time I actually did any media stuff was on the weekends. So I read the book club, but also I went to Lost Levels this weekend with Fanny for a date night. That was really fun. Playing old school retro video games. Although something did happen this week that I didn't think I was going to start because I told myself I was going to watch DuckTales before I did, and it was just up on Disney Plus, and I watched the first 3 episodes of The Owl House on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
you
There you go.
Holy crap! Just 3 episodes in, and I'm like, this
You're going to
show's
watch that whole thing in a week.
like, oh my god, this show is freaking amazing. Just 3 episodes in,
Yep.
and I'm like, so it's like, I mean, you know what? Because I saw it because I was staying up late because I had to take my roommate to the airport, and I'm like, you know what? It's here. I'll just watch an episode, and I'm like, I need to watch another one. And then I'm making my sandwich. I'm like, I need to watch a few. I need to try and watch one more because that show really is. It's really good. The animation's awesome. It's also, I love it because it's a Disney style show where they decide to take the weird and the creepy and they turn that to 11. Like I thought Gravity Falls turned it up a notch. Owl House takes whatever Gravity Falls did and just like, let's take it up a few more notches because there's just the visuals.
It's the same creators, right?
So one of the writers from Gravity Falls is the head writer and showrunner of
Gotcha.
Owl House.
Gotcha. Okay.
And and it's just like the visuals are not what you would think a Disney show. Like Star versus the Force of Evil. Yeah, that's definitely a Disney show. It's bright, it's colorful, it has its dark stuff here and there, but it's not the focal point. On this one, everything is dark and disgusting and like something out of a freaking Lovecraftian thing. It's just like, holy crap! Am I seriously watching this? Like,
Man, I'm gonna have to start watching that because everyone online is crazy about
it is. The animation's great. I love Luz. I love what's the owl lady's name?
Owlette.
Ooh,
Adina?
It's been a minute. Hold on.
Yeah,
Keep talking.
I love
I'll
I love
Hooty-hoo.
Luz. I love the owl lady. We just met her friends Willow and Gus.
Enid.
Yeah. I love I just so far every character I've met, I'm like, I like these characters. I
Right
can't
on.
wait to see more because Luz, she's sent to this or she's supposed to be sent to a summer camp where I love the little pamphlet because there's a pamphlet for a summer camp where it's like think inside the box because she has an overactive imagination and her mom is like, and her mom and the principal of her school are like, hey, you should like, tone it down. And she's like, no.
Yeah.
Don't tone down imagination.
Have you gotten to the part where she's trying to go to school yet? I don't
Yeah,
remember when that
that's the
happens.
episode where she meets Willow and Gus.
Is that the episode where she's actually trying to enroll though?
Oh no, that's the episode where
Okay,
she's
okay.
where she is Willow's abomination project.
I want to talk about when she tries to enroll when you get there.
Okay,
Which is a whole different episode. Very meaningful, very cool. Truly one of the coolest things I think a children's show has done about like different identity and sexuality representation for kids because essentially like you understand the school has like its different houses.
Yeah, like a
But
little...
so it has these different houses of magic of like types of magic. There's hierarchies and like it's like a skill tree, kind of imagine it that way. And so you become part of that and your robes are that color. You only learn that one magic.
Oh, okay.
And Luz is like, that doesn't make sense. Why can't we learn? I want to learn more. And so Luz is championing having multicolored robes to learn more magics.
Diversity,
which is also,
baby.
yes, representing
yeah.
diversity, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because that episode Willow, because her friend Willow wants to be a plant because she's good at plant magic, but she's not so good at abomination magic. And at the end of the episode, she shows off her skills. The headmaster puts her in the plant magic stuff, and her robes change from purple to green.
Right,
magic.
So it's like I cannot wait to finish watching the show, and I also need to watch DuckTales. Don't worry, Brandon, I will watch DuckTales eventually.
I mean, you're only hurting yourself.
So yeah, but besides that, I mentioned it earlier. So a Basement Arcade is recorded and ready to go. It might be coming up this week, hopefully.
A pause menu.
Or pause menu. Basement Arcade pause menu. It's recorded and ready to go. It's gonna come up. We just have to put the intro and stuff.
Don't tell them how it's done. They don't need to see how the bacon is made.
How the sandwich is layered. How
Anyways,
the pig is greased.
this episode of Basement Arcade pause menu was a really big one for
Do
me.
you grease the pig first?
Can I finish?
Sorry.
Just taking my mojo and just throwing in the trash, my friend. So this episode was a really big get for me because this gentleman is a huge part of video game history, and the gentleman is Howard Scott Warshaw. If you do not know who this guy is, this is a gentleman who worked at Atari back in the early 80s, who made 3 of the most prolific games that they have had. Yard's Revenge, which is the highest selling Atari 2600 game of all time. Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Well, of course, back then it was just called Raiders of the Lost Ark. And of course, the infamous E.T. the video game, which many, many, many people on the internet have, wrongly I might add, accused that game of being the sole reason the American video game market crashed in the year 1983. I got to sit down with him and talk with him about his years at Atari and about what happened afterwards.
Hell yeah.
That was one of the biggest gets for me. And if you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you know I was excited for this. And I haven't even released the episode yet. Holy crap. It was just because to me, this guy is a living legend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this guy is such a big part of video game history. And I was just like, I just reached out. I'm like, I'm probably going to hear back from him like maybe a week, 2 weeks or something. Same day, I get a message back and he's like, yeah, sure, I'll come on. I was like,
Super duper. So happy for you.
yeah,
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, he has a book out, the best part is he wants to come back on after I finish reading his book.
Nice.
So he's gonna come back on again. I'm like, I'm just so excited. I cannot wait for all of you guys to listen to that. And when it comes out, so good. Although I do have to admit, I think if my former radio professors listen to that episode, they're gonna want to skim me alive because I totally fanboy out, and that's something you're not supposed to do in an interview.
But you can do it on a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Very true.
Because we're not getting paid.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that's that. So Basement Arcade pause menu. You can listen to the episode I did with Cindy Jacks up right now. It's a really good episode. A lot of people on my Twitter feed are saying how good it is right now. So thank you guys for listening, and also go check that out. Link in the description down below. But stay tuned for Howard Scott Warshaw. So that's coming up hopefully this week
Probably next week.
or next week.
We'll look at the schedule.
We're gonna bump you
All
like
right.
Matt Damon.
Anything else, Ben?
No, that's my week.
All right, my turn. I didn't do a lot. Like I said up top, I was just kind of in the mood to just relax and just vibe for a couple of days.
Vibe it.
But I did do a couple things. I read the what's the show? Free Comic Book Day.
Oh my gosh, what?
All the wrong words. I said all the wrong words. I read the Free Comic Book Day offerings from Marvel, which were Avengers.
Right.
Venom.
I did also read those.
I really liked all of those.
I liked some of them.
I'm really stoked for those books. Avengers was interesting.
I'm excited for Venom.
Oh yeah, Venom looks cool.
Venom looks like that's the direction that character should go. Yes.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I also really liked Hulk. I watched a couple of things. Oh, I watched the movie we're talking about today. I watched that again.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Batman: The Long Halloween Part 2.
Oh.
This is the 4th film in the new animated universe that they're building. Little surprise, there was no kaiju at the end of this one. There has been for the first ones.
Well, we got Suicide Squad, so maybe that's enough.
Batman did not have to fight a giant monster or a giant Solomon Grundy or whatever.
Well,
I don't know who would turn into a kaiju.
Is it in the
that.
Long Halloween?
No.
Well, there we go.
No. In the Superman Man Tomorrow and Justice Society World War II, they both end with the kaiju fight, and I always just found that funny. Back to back. Really good. I really like the adaptation. The voice acting is solid. I think Jensen Ackles is a really good Batman. And I really like the girl who plays Catwoman, Naya Rivera, I believe her name is. Shame she passed away. She's not going to be reprising her role as Catwoman.
Oh yeah, she's yeah. Ah, it sucks.
Yeah, she passed away before the film came out, but she finished her recording. She's great. There's a lot of great heart in it. It's a solid adaptation. It's the first one of these new films to be an adaptation. The first 2 aren't. And I just thought it was really solid all around. I think the 2 complement each other well. I really like this new universe. I'm really hard into it.
Cool.
I watched the first movie of the Daimajin trilogy. For those of you who don't know, the Daimajin is an old 60s kaiju film trilogy that were filmed all at the same time with different directors. And this was put out by the people who did the Gamera films. They had this kind of ambitious idea to do these Daimajin films. They mostly all follow the same structure, but I only watched the first one. I was not aware of Daimajin before they released the Blu-ray set. And basically they are feudal Japan action dramas that all end in a giant monster destroying a village. And that's how they all go. I think that's really cool. But I always talk about how much I like period piece genre films. I like Kong Skull Island, Wonder Woman, the first Wonder Woman film. I really excited for The Kingsman. Really like the idea of like going back in time and doing a genre movie. And that's exactly what they did in this one. They go to the feudal Japan and they have a giant monster. I thought, hey, that's really cool.
Right on.
Nice.
All in all, a decent film. It's from the 60s, so it's a little slow. It's an hour and a half, feels longer. That's just how they paced films back then. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the second two.
Right on.
Nice.
And then I watched a lot of DuckTales.
Woo.
Almost done with DuckTales. Season 3, I'm about 4 episodes away from the end, only because Disney Plus splits up the last episode, which aired as an hour and a half. They split it into 3 parts.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, it's kind of like what Netflix does with the last Avatar episodes.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
They do that on. I didn't even check that on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me. I really like the show. As we're getting closer to the end, I'm really sad it's ending. I think all the characters are fantastic. Della Duck, who is Donald's sister and Scrooge's niece, and the triplets' mother, is such an incredible character, and I love her. They introduced Daisy in this season. Really great season. Really solid show all around. And it's such a shame that we're not getting more of it. And I hope that this isn't the end of this universe.
Two last things that I forgot from my week. Sorry. One, I'm still watching more of the HBO Max original Looney Tunes cartoons. Those are super solid. The last episode I watched had one of the funniest bits I've seen in Looney Tunes in a long, long time. I was laughing really hard. Thought it was really good visual comedy. So praises to that. Everyone should check it out. And the other thing is that my Shark Week turned into Shark Month. Because I accessed Discovery, so I did the subscription so I can keep watching.
There's a documentary coming out on Discovery Plus this week. May I borrow it?
Sure.
Okay, I'm really excited for it.
I mean, no. Get your own Discovery.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only one I want to talk about, because it's slightly related, is I made mention that there was a episode with William Shatner. I watched that one, and it's one of the better celebrity episodes, in my opinion. William Shatner is an experienced scuba diver who has a fear of sharks. He loves diving, but he also has a fear of sharks. He tends to dive in places where there's minimal shark activity or like very minimal experiences with other sharks. And so the whole episode was about, honestly, very engaging and good host Josh Gates, who has his own show on Discovery called Expedition Unknown, and he's hosted Shark Week last year through the pandemic, and he's hosted this year too. But he is the person with William Shatner through the special, because I forgot this happened, but on one of his specials, so every night at the end of Shark Week, what happens is Josh Gates gets on and he talks to people from the episodes that were aired that night and just about like doing it and things. So it's like a little wrap up talk after show. Last year, he had William Shatner on talking about something in his diving experiences, and William Shatner said that he wanted to go diving with him about sharks. That's why this happened.
Oh, okay.
So the whole point of the episode is William Shatner wanting to be able to dive with sharks without fear. And that's the goal. And the way they go about getting him more comfortable and doing all these things, he eventually goes diving with tiger sharks without cages. And it's a really cool experience to watch them go through. And I thought it was actually really touching watching William Shatner be very honest about like his vulnerability in this department and why he wants to do this. And he's like, I love diving and I don't want to be afraid of sharks anymore.
That's awesome.
I just don't want to have that fear. And he's like, it's not a like conscious thing. It is fear, even as I am aware they are beautiful creatures.
They are.
I am afraid.
Yeah.
I feel it in my gut, and I want that feeling to go away.
Yeah, well, Sparks, we got someone in the chat right now, Mr. John Radley. He, going back to what you said about Looney Tunes, he said he also just started watching those Looney Tunes cartoons. They are really good. Love how the Porky Daffy shorts are a direct homage to their old Clampett cartoons.
You're so right, John. I'm so glad you're watching them.
All right, shall we get into our bread and butter?
Yum yum in my tum.
Yes.
It'll be news time.
All right, we're out of the bread and butter intro, and I definitely had this ready
Here's your bread. and
prior
butter.
That's
to
what
doing this.
It's like we do this every week or
I
something.
know, jeez. All right, we got some sad news up top.
Oh, no.
Masami Suda, I hope I pronounced that right, who was a classic old-time animator in Japan.
yeah.
Oh.
He did things like Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh!, most famously Fist of the North Star. He did Hellsing Ultimate the past couple of years. He passed away this week at the age of 77.
Oh, that's sad.
Man, Fist of the North Star is so cool. I want that to come back. That's a story. It's in the post-apocalypse. It's about a dude, when he punches you, you explode. That's so cool.
I remember the show.
Man,
I mean, I watched a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid, but
Me too.
no exploding in that.
no explode. Well, the monsters explode.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
Strong legacy of anime.
Yeah. That's just some of his credits. His credits are numerous. I could not list them all.
Mhm.
For sure.
But you have definitely crossed paths with his work. All right, moving on to some comic book stuff.
Real quick, a British comedian died who was not famous in America, but he was huge in England. His name was Sean Locke. He died at 54, died of cancer. He was huge on the reality TV show scene. Great stand-up comedian. Cancer sucks.
Oh yeah, that does suck.
He's literally like no one in America knows him. He's a strictly like British guy.
Okay.
Because I watch a lot of British YouTube stuff.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. All right, well, some comic book stuff then. Hawkeye is getting a new series.
Which one? The lame one or the
specifically-
cool one?
Kate Bishop.
That's
So the lame
cool one.
one. No, I love Kate Bishop. This one's going to be written by Mariki Nijkamp.
Yeah.
With art by Enid Balam. This is gonna be a 5-issue miniseries. Basically about. I'll just read the synopsis. Actually, it's quick. Kate's heading home, or at least back to New York. And as much as she wants to go back to where her friends, her chosen family, are, she's changed since the last time, since she was last on the East Coast. So she's picked up a pit stop case first, a confidence booster, to prove to herself she's making the right decision and not going to backslide into her past just by changing time zones. Besides, the case is perfect. Swanky resort? Check. Jewel heist? Check. Almost definitely 100% a trap? Check.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, sounds fun.
Yay! It's a mini. It's not an ongoing, but hey, more Kate Bishop's great. You got to get more Kate Bishop out before that show comes out.
That's true.
Yeah.
This actually will coincide with the show
Beautiful.
because they're both coming out in November.
Makes sense.
Ooh, even better.
The more popular that those young Avengers get, the more we're going to see them in comics.
That's true.
Oh, baby, I'm so excited.
I'm glad we're going to see these characters. in
That
comics again.
resurgence, baby. Oh, yeah.
Now we got some around the comics. This is the world of behind the scenes comic book stuff because there was quite a bit this week.
World of DC.
Brian Michael Bendis, as you all know, now exclusive with
Oh my god, I forgot this happened this week.
Oh,
DC Comics.
Bendis.
One of the deals was that Brian Michael Bendis would bring DC Comics Jinx World, which is his creator-owned imprint.
Mhm.
However, apparently, that's no longer, as he is moving his imprint Jinx World to Dark Horse.
Really?
This is the
Yeah.
third time he's moved Jinx World.
Wow.
It's-
Where is
which
it?
also means that he's no longer DC exclusive.
Yep.
Contracted.
That is true.
People are suspecting he's not going to be with DC very much longer.
He's
Yeah.
doing Justice League, so he's going to wrap up Justice League somehow.
Yeah.
How is that Justice League run? Is anyone reading it?
I've heard good things.
I've heard good things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not like it's the best
Well,
book.
because
but,
I
like,
remember how. Once again, I know I keep bringing this up whenever Bendis is involved in the news, but we all talk about how super stoked we were when he was coming to DC when he was writing Superman.
this was so long
And
ago.
then, yeah, I
Oh
know
my
it was
God.
years ago. It
That's
was
crazy.
in the before times. And then when he arrives, we're like, yeah, Bendis is great. And then we just slowly but surely he was like, yeah, Bendis is great. It's like, it's good.
I
Probably gonna get better. And then it really didn't.
I don't think he had the impact that DC expected.
No,
Right,
definitely not.
yeah.
Like he is one of the biggest names, but he's not the biggest name anymore.
I mean, the thing is, like, he spent 20 years writing every character at Marvel.
Yeah.
And then he jumps up to DC, and he's
immediately given Superman and Justice League.
Yeah.
just kind of fine.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything special about his Superman. I haven't heard
Well,
the best things about Justice League, but I heard it's solid.
Well, and notably, it was a big deal, and like everybody was all in on him doing Superman when it came out. Like us, the general comic audience, like those numbers were great. People didn't like his take, and that just fizzled out rapidly.
Well, also, Brandon, I agree. Brandon more so. He was mad that he decided to age up John.
I'm still mad.
I am mad, but that if we wouldn't have Superman, Son of Kal-El, where he's Superman right now, and that is a great thing happening.
That Tom Taylor book is coming out soon.
It's
right?
out.
It's out.
Oh,
It's out.
Son of a bitch.
And it's great.
Yeah, I heard.
And listen,
I've heard great things.
there's no Super Sons anymore. Guess what? Damien's in that book, and they're still best friends. So you still have your Super Sons.
Actually, there is like there's still
There's a
random,
Super
and
like,
there is
Super
still a
Sun
Super Son.
series.
No,
'cause
but what
there's
I
that
mean
one
is,
coming out right
I
now.
mean, like in continuity now, they are still friends. Like
Yeah,
that didn't
I
get
gotcha.
erased or anything.
right.
Oh, and that was never in question.
Yeah.
I just the decision to age up John, I still claim is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Whether or not Tom Taylor is writing an incredible book, who's surprised?
Yeah.
Tom Taylor's an incredible writer.
Yeah.
Very true.
I just like my thing is legacy characters becoming like taking the mantle and like having a new Superman. Like John is Superman. Like that is. I agree. I don't want him to be older, but he's Superman right now, and that's.
I mean, like
amazing.
the reality is that it's just a shame that what Tomasi and Gleason were doing got cut short.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
that it got cut short for
It's
Bendis to
not-
kind of go, okay, but what about the opposite?
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying I disagree with the decision as it exists now. I'm saying I still will always disagree with the decision to do it. Whatever happens, happens.
I also
Good-
think
good
in
or bad, doesn't
general,
matter.
I also think in general, when you have two comic lines for a character like Batman Detective or Superman in Action, those should be two different writers. Unless you are doing like a small event thing and you need both, that's fine. But it should not just be ongoing all the time, the same writer on both. I think that's always just a waste.
Yeah,
that was a mistake. Put Bendis on Action and Superman.
Yep.
Anyways, going back to Jinx World.
Yeah, so obviously Jinx World, if you don't know, is home to Powers Jinx cover, which came out. He's hoping to bring them back. A lot of these, I guess, Powers he's looking to relaunch Powers with the new series.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because it's like the third time he's ended it.
Hey man, I guess you got to keep going back to that well, right?
And he's also announcing a new book, Joy Operations.
Ooh, yes.
This is going to be with art by Stephen Byrne.
Oh, this looks so good already. Yeah.
It's going to be a 5-issue miniseries to start with. He's doing the Mark Millar thing where he does miniseries.
Mhm.
The series takes place 55 years in the future and follows Joy, who is an N.Vola, special agent of the Genando Trust. These trusts are described as corporate-owned cities that are the centerpiece of modern society. Joy's job finds her righting wrongs for the trust, which naturally puts her at odds with her duty when a voice in her head instructs her to betray everything she ever believed in.
What if everything you knew is wrong?
Oh.
Stephen Byrne's a terrific artist, so
Terrific
like
artist.
I might pick this #1 up just to see if it's cool.
Yeah, I love Stephen Byrne's art. Substack.
Oh,
back.
this thing again.
It's back.
Back. Substack is back. And
Sub's back.
this time we heard, and I knew this was coming ever since last week when they said, oh, Donna Cates and Ryan Stegman are joining Substack. They are specifically bringing their new imprint, Kids Love Chains Press. This, for those of you who don't know, is an imprint that they're starting that was going to be an independent creator-owned thing. Ryan Stegman's doing his first ever creator-owned book, which he's really excited about.
Vanish.
And they talked about it on their debrief for Venom on their podcast. And they were like, we just got news. We just got off the phone with something, and we can't say what it is. We're not announcing anything yet. This is what that was.
Mhm.
So now they're saying that they are going to Substack with this book. However, the books will be published in print afterwards.
Yeah, he did what a lot of the others did, and is like, yeah, these books are still going to come out traditionally when whenever that time comes. So I'm like, cool, I'll buy the book on the stand like everyone else will.
Yeah,
cool.
Vanish, as Ryan said, will be the first book that they're doing. This is going to be Ryan Stegman's first ever creator-owned, and this is going to be an ongoing. Well, for now, for as long as they do it. That's gonna be the first new title for Kids Love Chains, but the book, the one you feed, which was on the pay what you want.
That's the God Country spinoff.
Yeah, that one, which already released his first issue, and that October will release the second issue on Substack.
Yeah,
but Image has the rights to publish it, so it's coming to Image. And then he's also doing that was with Dylan Burnett and the Flood, or just Flood, sorry, which is the book that he's doing with his wife Megan Hutchinson Cates. They will also be published through Substack, and then Flood will also go to Image afterwards.
Well, at least all these books are coming to print.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's at the end of the day, I just want the books to be in my hands. You know,
Yeah, because I
still
remember
wanna-
last week when we were or not complaining, but when we were talking,
I was complaining.
yeah, well,
I mean,
when we were talking about Substack and how all those books weren't going to print, or if they
you
were,
know what?
they-
It's not just that. It's not just that. It is the uncertainty when they
Yeah.
were asked of like, oh yeah, we don't know how these are going to come out.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what pissed me off.
Yeah.
I think the other thing that's just a bummer about it still, like, not to reopen the entire Substack box, is just I want to support these creators. I just wish it was in a way where it's like I wish they were doing like scaled down the Disney Plus idea, which is like go lower to get more.
Yeah.
Rather than like expecting high, like you are budgeting out a ton of people with how much, again, like this is based off Tynan's, but like I would support you if you were like asking for $2.
A lot of them are around.
I would do that.
A lot of them are $7-8.
Yeah.
That's like kind of like the standard.
I'm like $2. I would
Yeah.
do. I would do so many of you to support you.
Do you have because I have Tynan's. I was a follower of his Substack, but his free newsletter before it became a private one.
Yeah.
He released how his book Blue Book is going to be released now.
Oh, I don't have that.
It is
How
it
that?
is 10 pages every 2 weeks. So you're getting a monthly comic, but it's 10 pages every 2 weeks, and you're getting it through in your email.
But that's like that's 20 pages for $8.99 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, still not a great deal.
It's not a good deal.
20
But you're getting behind the scenes of like the making of it and all that stuff, which I guess is cool. But like
But
I
is
don't.
that worth your money?
It's like Injustice digitally. Like I don't want to read that kind of comic anyway.
Yeah.
That's why I don't read Justice League Dark through Justice League, because I don't read 10 pages at a time.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think what Donny Cates did was like, you know, what Chip Zdarsky did, you know, the better way to approach this of like, yes, we're going to Substack. And I think Donny Cates bringing an entire imprint is also smart.
Yeah.
A whole new imprint, but he was very clear, like these will be printed
Yeah.
through, and he had a publisher named, and you know, Chip Zdarsky
For
was also
sure.
like, they're also going to go to someone.
Yeah, it
whoever
seems like
wants them.
the more expensive one, the more expensive people like Tynan and Hickman, like they are like their stuff is going to be a little more Substack.
Yeah.
Than going to the outside world, which sucks.
Hopefully not substandard.
Oh
Man, that Hickman one has like
Hopefully they're substantial.
Hickman has Grant Morrison now on it, and
I heard
like,
that,
and
yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not gonna support this because I can't. But oh my god, you're saying all the right words, man.
I just hope these books have substance.
Oh,
we're gonna
good.
we're gonna talk about Hickman in a minute.
Oh.
But first let's talk about webtoons.
Oh, this is awesome.
As we all know what webtoons is, we did a book club series on a webtoon.
We
Hell
did.
yeah.
God of High School.
Have you heard this news, Ben?
No, I have not.
Cool.
DC Comics has partnered with webtoons
What?
Yep.
to create all new standalone web comics featuring many DC characters.
Free manga for kids, Ben, starring DC characters. DC is killing it.
I mean, truth be told, I haven't opened up my webtoons in months, which is for me is good because then all the series I have are like stacked. So when I dive back
Substack?
in, I know. But there's like a bunch of them there, so I could go through a good chunk of them. I don't have to, and I don't like catch up. Super
Yeah. What
quick.
if now Batman was there?
But now Batman's there.
I think this is awesome. This is really cool.
That is awesome. I mean, hey, more comics for free comics for people to get, and they're good books
This
or
is
they're
the
good
better-
stories. Then yes,
This is
I'm
the
all
better.
for it.
This is the better version of the Walmart thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
God, I forgot about that. Holy crap!
So did the world.
I think
Yeah.
so did Walmart.
Do they still do that? Are they still doing like
I
the
don't know.
exclusive
No,
Walmart
they
stuff?
quit.
Yeah,
I
they
saw,
quit.
They still put out the 100-page giants,
But they just
don't-
come to
I
comic
think
stores.
They just go to comic stores.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh man, I think I remember I was actually at a Walmart one time and I saw a bunch of comics somewhere. I think it was by a register. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a thing.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's really cool. I think that's really awesome.
Man, that Walmart thing is so dumb, but this webtoon thing is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of kids access webtoons and comic book characters for free. And
Manga outsells comics
absent-
so much.
absent of continuity.
Mhm.
So they're all standalone that you could just jump in whenever you want.
Yep.
I think that's really cool. And yeah, manga's been killing it during the
Yeah,
pandemic.
Again, any way to get kids into that comic shop, like this is a great way.
All right, Jonathan Hickman.
Oh boy. What a week.
Mr. Hickman said that he is stepping down as head of X at
What?
the conclusion of Inferno. Now, before you panic,
This was an Entertainment Weekly huge ass like actual news article.
Are you shitting
Yeah.
me?
before you panic,
now
Ben,
before you
please.
panic?
Now, before you panic, he is not leaving Marvel,
Okay, good.
so he's not being exclusive to Substack. He is going to continue with Marvel, and he's already working on the next big event.
So of course everything is rumors. The rumor is that he is working on what the equivalent of Multiversity is for
Oh, cool.
for Marvel. And Hickman is the 100% the guy to do that. If that's true, holy shit.
Yeah, that'd be
Get
awesome.
away from the X-Men. I don't care.
I love multiversity.
Yeah.
So basically, so the reason that he gave, I do think that I personally feel like there's been a lot more editorial meddling in the X line than anybody wanted.
Mhm.
I think Hickman's kind of frustrated, and this kind of presents an opportunity. But also, as he stated, which I totally believe, is that he said, "I'm ready to go into Act 2 of my X-Men run," and they were like, "We're not ready to leave Act 1."
I
Okay.
agree, and I'm 100% with them. Like I think the stage that we're at right now with Krakoa being in peace, like he's ready to move on for the fall, and like Marvel's not, because the sales are so good and the people are really enjoying the books. You know, like not every book is like hitting it 100%, but the age of Krakoa is in a good spot, and he's ready to burn it down, and Marvel's not ready to do that. I don't know if I'm ready either, you guys.
I think this gives us the opportunity to do what we've talked about. Like the X line has been lacking certain things. One of them being like, maybe show us a one shot of life on Krakoa.
Yeah.
I think this gives us the opportunity.
More than anything, I just hope that when it would be the right time for Act 2, Hickman gets to still come back for a say on
and
that.
In his interview,
Mhm.
not his interview, sorry, Jerry Duggan put out a big thing. He's like, Hickman, we didn't find this out yesterday. We've known for months that he was going to leave, and we've had plans in place that are past Inferno, that are stuff that you guys haven't even seen yet, that he helped plan. And also the thing that really made me mad about this week is everybody is putting all of this X-line on Hickman. Like Hickman's the guy writing 11 books right now. Hickman is writing one X-Men book, you guys. He is the head of X, yes, but Vita Ayala and Teenie Howard and Jerry Duggan and all of these other guys, they are just as important, and they are just as vital to making this line work. It's not just Hickman.
Right.
And Leah Williams, who gave a great interview this week, she's like, Hickman is getting all the praise for the books, and he hates it. He talks about how bad he feels every week that he's getting all the credit for this line.
And I
Knowing
think
what I know about him, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's totally fair. And like, this is not the end of the X line. And like, the only thing I lament in him leaving is, again, like, I do hope that he's back to tell us the follow up of what he envisioned from Hawkspox.
Yeah.
Like, I want that payoff.
Mhm.
I don't need it right now. That's fine. Like, you want to step away, you want to live in this space. I'm happy with the teams that are doing what they're doing. I'm enjoying the X books. Obviously, I'm not caught up, but I'm still getting them. I'm still keeping.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like what it's doing. I don't care how long we sit here. I just do want that eventual Act 2, Act 3 that he was picturing.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I think that I do think that if you notice, the X line tones a lot of things down coming out of the dawn of X, coming out of the dawn of X and into the reign of X. I feel like there's been a lot more meddling from editorial than Hickman was probably promised.
Yeah.
Because if I remember,
we know about Leah Williams, what happened this week. That was also this week.
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, when we heard that Jonathan Hickman was coming on to do this giant X-Men's arc, essentially, it was like, yeah, it's all him. Like, or he's not like it's not like all him, but he's the head.
Yeah.
Like,
He's the
it's
showrunner.
Yeah, it's his final say. Editorial's like a back off because he knows what he wants to do.
Well, that wasn't necessarily. I just can feel like it feels like the X-Men books are being held back by something, and I don't think it's Hickman doing it.
Yeah.
What was the thing with Leah Williams? I didn't see this.
Well, so
Ooh, boy.
Leah Williams talked about how the final issue of X Factor came about and the meddling that editorial
So
did.
the most popular tweet that I will ever have was just me quoting something from a podcast, which got like almost like 1,000 likes and the retweets and stuff. But Leah Williams was on Battle of the Atom, and she talked about directly, and I'm sure she got in trouble for how honest she was. She was like, yeah, editorial meddled with my book, and like I didn't even get to finish the script. The script that you guys read in that comic, I didn't even finish. When issue 10 came out, all of those problems that people had with those characters were the same time I was finding out about them. So all the things that I had problems that I thought Leah Williams did, it wasn't her, it was editorial, and she didn't find out until the book was done.
Yeah.
And that's just
And
incredibly
she
shitty.
she also said that like they had to change. They kept changing her letter at the end to be like, no. Pretend like it was always the plan that it was going to end after 10.
Yeah.
Because Trial of Magneto was supposed to be an arc in X Factor and not the end of X Factor.
Yeah, it was supposed to
Sure.
be the third arc, and they were like, this book idea is too good. We want to turn it into a thing. And she's like, well, that's gonna like kind of ruin my book. And it's like, well, your book doesn't sell well, so we're just gonna cancel it. And it's just really, really shitty. It's just super sad.
Yeah.
So like I am not
Never forget that Ike Perlmutter is still out there.
yeah.
I don't think I do think that this just came about that it just kind of Hickman was like, this is a good place to step down.
Take a break. Yeah.
no
And-
matter what,
yeah.
It
no matter
makes
which
sense.
way.
Yeah, I think people online are a little too reactionary because I get it. Like Hickman is like the boss of bosses. He is great. But also like
He's not the only good writer out there.
he's literally 1/6 of the writing room, and like Vita Ayala right now is writing like a career writing New Mutants run. Like-
Jerry Duggan's Marauders continues to be my favorite book. I
Yeah.
absolutely love what Teenie Howard is doing with Excalibur, and Benjamin Percy's Wolverine is high octane. Let's kill some vampire action.
Yeah, X-Force too.
Depending, so
Oh yeah, X-Force. God, I forgot.
here's
about
the next bit of news, which is that a new weekly series will happen next year, probably at the start of next year, to usher in the next era of the X-Men.
Yep.
Post Hickman. That's what this one will be, just crafted by the current line.
So yeah, Inferno will end, and whatever happens in Inferno will usher in
Yeah.
the next wave.
I kind of am looking forward to this as like I can probably drop a couple books now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
probably don't need to read all of them.
Well, Way of X is ending.
No, I'm talking about like if no matter what happens, I don't believe that I will feel compelled to read every single X-Men book.
Oh, sure.
That's going to hit the racks, and I'm going to be a little bit more choosy going out of
Yeah,
it
yeah,
now.
Oh, Way of X is ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Way of X and X-Core are ending.
Was was Way of X supposed to be a
Unclear.
mini, or
It's unclear.
Unclear.
From the artist on Twitter, he said it was always planned to be 6 issues, and they were hoping to get a second season. So there is more Way of X planned, but it is a mini series as of right
I'll
now.
probably
And
just-
then
I'll
end
probably
with just real quickly, it's going to end with a one-shot Onslaught something.
Yeah.
Okay.
X-Men Onslaught Assault or something. I think it's
All
called.
right.
That's going to be the end of it.
I think I have like issue 2 to read that I bought the single issue, so I might just trade rate for the rest.
X-Core is the funny one because they first solicited X-Core
A long
as
time ago.
a 5-issue miniseries, and when the solicitations came out, even the second solicitations, it was 5-issue miniseries, and Marvel got mad about that, saying it was a typo. This was going to be an ongoing, and it's ending after issue 5.
I'll tell you what. I'm not caught up, but of all the X books that need to end, that's probably one of them. It sucks because like that's the business book, and that's like the book that should be like like it's less action, more business stuff, and that seems fun, but it's just kind of boring. It's just nothing's happening. It's kind of boring, and I'm like,
I've only read the second issue, up to the second issue.
that's as much as I read, and I'm like, that might be enough.
It's kind of all right.
Yeah.
I think going into this next era, I won't feel as compelled to keep reading some of the whatever books are left that or are starting. I don't know if I'll feel compelled to read them all.
Yeah.
But they could all appeal to me. You don't know.
I'm an X stan, so I'll pick up every number one no matter what.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I'm not gonna drop Wolverine or Marauders or Hellions.
Hellions is probably ending,
It's Hellions is probably ending,
which is awful.
all right. Anyway, we're getting off some comic book news.
Oh,
Unless we want to say more about X-Men.
I just
I get it.
forever.
All right. Dead by Daylight
Yeah,
was in the news this week.
that's true. I played some of it.
A couple of things. So apparently the Stranger Things pack, they have a famous collaboration. Stranger Things, for those of you who don't know, will no longer be available to buy after October.
Licensing, hooray!
Yeah, it sucks.
Boo.
If you already bought it though, like it's not leaving. So
Well, if you already bought it,
You get to keep the characters. The map is going away.
the map they're taking. Oh,
They're
that's
taking the
taking
map
the map.
away.
That's like the best map.
I know.
Damn it! At least I got the Gorgon, I guess.
and they're going to keep the characters for now. They were very clear to say for now we're able to keep the characters, but
That's
we
weird.
don't know for how long.
I mean, that kind of sucked. Oh well, though.
That's-
It sucks because I remember I bought the Stranger Things pack when it was on sale.
Yeah.
I spent money on that, and now it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna just take it
That is
away.
spend money on all the Dead by Daylight
Yeah,
DLC.
that is shitty.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, just like taking off the store, but if you bought the thing, then like let people enjoy what they bought. But once again, that's the paradigm of digital video games.
That's true. Yeah, that's a bummer. I like that map, honestly.
Yeah.
because especially since Nancy's my main when I'm a survivor.
I'm a survivor.
And then Pinhead,
Oh yeah, Hellraiser.
the famous Pinhead,
He's known as the Cenobite.
is coming to the game.
I've watched a bunch of gameplay of him. He looks real cool. I'm super excited.
Yeah, awesome. One spooky thing to another. Hotel Transylvania. It's kind of spooky. Hotel Transformania.
Mm-hmm.
The fourth film in the
That's not out yet.
no, and now it will never come out.
Oh.
It won't.
It's going to skip theaters
Oh. Okay.
and come out on Amazon Prime.
Oh.
Now we'll never.
I thought it was just like delayed forever. I'm like, why?
I thought they just like decided to pull the plug on it or something. I was like,
No.
yeah, we're not gonna put this out. We're done.
Amazon has landed the streaming rights for $100 million.
Oh god damn.
Wow.
They paid money for this.
They did. They paid a lot of money for this.
This is going to be the 5th film that Sony has sold to a streaming service because they don't have their own. They're making bank though.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
Mostly they just mostly sold their animated films like Mitchell's vs. the Machines, Luck Dragon, Vivo, all three of which I've heard great things about.
Oh, Vivo,
Mitchell's
yeah.
is great. So,
Mm-hmm.
and the upcoming Cinderella that looks terrible. They sold that to Amazon.
Oof. Mercedes commercials, guys.
I thought that was already out.
No, it's coming this
coming.
month.
It's coming. Like the only thing I really like about that is the fairy godmother. I just know that person from other things. And I like. That
Oh
guy.
yeah, okay, yeah.
So Sony is just like I guess we're not putting movies in theaters this year.
Venom.
Well, that.
Well, yeah, the Marvel ones will make money.
Yeah.
I think this is good for them.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
And you know what? Sony has had a killer year for animation. Apparently, I haven't seen Luck Dragon or Vivo yet, but Mitchell's is great.
Yeah.
So
I've been wanting to see Luck Dragon.
I've heard good things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to see Vivo.
It's going to. Yeah, I've heard good things about that too. This will
Go
premiere
ahead.
in October.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, you like the Hotel Transylvanias?
Yeah, but I'm not confident I'll like this one.
Yeah, because Tartakovsky's not directing.
Tartakovsky's not there and Sandler's not there. So I'm like,
Sandler's not there either.
He's not.
Yeah.
no, okay. So I think I talked about this off air with Brandon, which is that no one knows why Adam Sandler isn't back as Dracula. I think it has something to do with the pandemic.
Yeah.
I think it just has something to do with when they wanted him to come in to record. It wasn't COVID safe.
That's insane that they can't just wait a couple weeks for the main character from the last 3 movies. That's insane to me.
I am not sure
Yeah.
what the other reason would be. So everyone's kind of
I wouldn't be
thinking that's
shocked
what it
if like
is.
the Tartakovsky's back to Adam Sandler's like, I don't give a shit anymore.
Did you see his? Did you see their response to the new directors? They were like, "Well, now that he turns into a human in this one, we felt it was a good opportunity to change his voice."
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, I did see that.
Oh,
I thought it was stupid.
That they just didn't want to pay Adam Sandler. That's what it is. Sounds
Yeah.
like that's awful.
So anyway, he's just not back. So without Adam Sandler and like the guy doing the voice is the guy who does the voice for Drac in the video game. So I'm sure he's fine.
Ooh, he got a
Um,
pay raise. Nice.
But maybe who knows? But I don't know. Without Tartakovsky directing, like
Maybe it's the
I
same
think
dialogue from the upcoming video game.
I think the first 3 are pretty solid. Like you get Tartakovsky's feel through it, and I don't know. Like they're either going to have to do something on their own, or it's just going to feel like someone trying to do Tartakovsky. And I can't imagine that's going to go well.
Right.
Children of the night.
I will watch it, but I don't have faith I'm going to like it as much as those first 3.
And now you don't have to pay for it.
Now I don't have to pay for it.
Invisible Man's hot.
All right. Actually, he's not hot. That was
It's
the whole
not
point.
hot.
Do we like Field of Dreams in this panel?
I love Field of Dreams.
If you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
Cool. I haven't seen it.
Kevin Costner, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
He's a kid in that one.
Oh,
seriously,
I could be thinking about the other one.
Angels, because he's
Angels in the
he's an
Outfield.
angel.
Yeah, that's Angels in the
I was
Outfield.
gonna say I don't
I
think
was
Joseph
like-
Gordon-Levitt's
I'm
in
like,
Field of Dreams.
hold up.
baseball movies are all the same.
Which one is the? Which one? James Earl Jones is one of these, right?
Yeah,
Sandlot.
Yeah, no.
Sandlot.
Well, he's also in Field of Dreams.
Oh,
I haven't seen
knew
it.
Yeah,
All right.
James Earl Jones is in the Sandlot, and he's also in Field of Dreams.
I love it.
All right. Anyway, now that we got that over with, isn't there a movie where John Goodman plays Ruth Bader Ginsburg? Babe Ruth.
Nope.
Babe Ruth.
I really want to see John Goodman as RGB. He would rock that dress that she wears. Oh god.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm imagining RGB with like a baseball bat.
Yes, I am. I could just see her on the top. I'm just seeing RGB in her justice seat. May she rest in peace.
That's the
with in a Yankees out uniform with a freaking baseball bat as her gavel.
that's the multiverse
She freaking
Loki I want to see.
she does the point, lifts up a ball, whacks it into the courtroom.
What's that movie? What's that movie that Adam Sandler?
Click.
No,
Click 2.
no,
Click 3.
those movies don't exist.
The Water Boy.
No, the one where he plays golf.
Oh,
Happy
Happy
Gilmore.
Madison.
Oh, Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy
yeah.
Madison is a production company.
Happy
There you go.
Madison is the production company.
Happy Gilmore. I recently watched that. I don't know if I mentioned it on the show.
It's good.
Oh, cool.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a
it's
great
all on
movie.
the hips.
It's a good one.
I've
gotta
seen
go-
it, I've seen it before, but I really
Got to
like
go to your happy place. It's just like a bunch of like women in like with like money like
And beer.
and beer.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that like
Shooter
cast-
McGavin.
that cast is stacked.
Yeah,
The
Shooter
girl,
McGavin.
the girl from Modern Family. She's in it.
Julie.
It was to answer your
Andrews.
to answer your question, Brandon. No, I don't know what movie if John Goodman plays Babe Ruth in.
Yeah.
He might. I just can't think of it at the top of my head.
All
but
right. Anyway, the news though.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
Mike Schur, who is the creator of The Good Place,
Sure.
one of the creators of The Good
Ooh.
Place, will adapt the film as a new drama series.
It's called The Babe.
It's called The Babe. There
It's called
it
The
is.
Babe.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, so Mike Schur, The Good Place, doing Field of Dreams is a drama,
Like a
Okay.
TV show or a movie?
TV show.
Okay,
I mean, sure.
I'm okay with
As
that.
a drama? Okay.
Yeah,
I like Good Place.
Yeah, Good Place is good.
That's funny though.
That's true.
I don't want the
Uh,
sad. I want the
yeah.
ha-has.
I feel like
Good Place is almost a dramedy.
I know.
Like it's on that line.
Yeah.
I want to say I don't know how I feel about Field of Dreams turning it into a series. I mean, it could work. But
I mean, it's a pretty basic concept. You can do
It
a
is.
lot with it.
you can. Yeah.
I mean, if
It's
you
not
build
like
it,
it's not like you're stepping on anything
True,
to
true.
do a new Field of Dreams story.
you're absolutely right. Yeah.
You're
Um,
stepping
is
on all
Joseph
the-
Gordon-Levitt going to be in this one?
No, I hope they build it and Kevin Costner's ghost comes out and he's like, "Yo, you got to build it." And
Although-
then
Know the
after they
line.
Although speaking of Field of Dreams, because I thought Brandon, what you're going to mention on the news is that there actually is a baseball field in Iowa where the movie was, where they built an actual baseball field, and a game between the White Sox and the Yankees was played there, and the players came out of the corn like they do in
Ben?
the movie.
Nice.
Question.
Yeah.
Why do you think I would put that in the news?
Because you know I like baseball, and that's really cool.
What makes you
homage to
think
the
I
movie.
saw that?
I don't know.
I definitely don't know what you're
You
talking
say
about.
Field of Dreams, that's the first thing that came to my head.
I think of Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
You're not even in that movie. I've seen both.
Oh,
of
I'm thinking of Looper.
sports ball.
Thinking of Angels in the Outfield. That's what
Angels
you're
in the
thinking.
Outfield and Field of Dreams are both great movies.
I'm thinking of 10 things I hate about you.
Heath Ledger. All right. Armor Wars had some news.
Oh yeah, I love it.
The new Rhodey TV series. Did you see what Kevin Hart did on his show?
Yes.
Yeah. Man, that was fun. Armor Wars. Yasir Lester, creator of Black Monday, will be the head writer of Armor Wars.
Cool.
Nice.
Man, that show's happening. I love it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. He landed the bid. His pitch won. Good for him.
Oh, that's cool.
Mag just answered The Babe. That was the show or the movie.
The movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Yep.
that
Thank you,
Ryan
Mag.
just saying. Thank you, Mag.
More comic book world news
The
things.
world
Black
of-
Panther: Wakanda Forever.
The world of
Yep.
Wakanda.
Straight from the mouth of Kevin Feige, who's sick of everything. I'm turning into Jeff Goldblum.
He's sick of one specific
Yeah.
thing.
On any other planet, I'd be millions of years old here on Sakaar.
That's actually a really good Grandmaster impression, by the
Thank
way.
you. I'm Goldblum's all right. Okay, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Riri Williams, Ironheart. Kevin Feige himself said that they will make their debut in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
This has me excited because in my mind, I had always been thinking of like once we knew the title Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, I'd always
Oh,
been
you can't
thinking
say
of
that.
it as like pretty much following stuff happening in Wakanda. And this actually has me thinking, oh, we're gonna follow up on the outreach stuff. We're gonna follow up on what they set up at the end of the movie of
Yeah.
Wakanda, like reaching out to communities and stuff. So people are gonna find out about Riri, and Wakanda's gonna want to support her.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
I'm 100% into this.
I really hope that's what's up. I hope that it's like her out there in this outreach program connects with her.
Yeah.
And I hope that's like a core point of what we're seeing in how their relationship with the world has changed. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I think it's
Uh,
awesome.
Yeah. So like it's the Black Panther like outreach stuff happened in Oakland, but like that doesn't mean that they can't do it in any other city. Because
Absolutely.
Riri is born in Chicago. That's where her story starts, and then she goes to MIT. So like they can do Wakanda stuff in Chicago. Or honestly, if they just move her to Oakland, it's not that big of a deal either.
But
Um,
the implication was that they were doing what they were doing in Oakland in other places
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And so like a city like Chicago totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Like you could definitely do this.
This is
Yeah.
this is a when I saw this news, I really couldn't believe it. Like I knew Riri was coming, but like she is like these legacy characters, like the Young Avengers, like they're older than Riri's not that old. She's a couple years old. This is really cool.
I really cannot wait for like the mainstream audiences to freak out because they're gonna meet her, but they're not gonna know. Like, yo, you're looking at the next Iron Man.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's so cool. Oh yeah.
Real quickly, that figure I got you. In that line is the Tony Stark, but his head is a hologram because he's an AI.
AI
in the
Tony
suit.
Stark. Yeah.
I saw that figure. I was like,
Yeah. I did a poll on Twitter, and most people do not think he will be an AI in that series. I want it just because I like that's the thing that did in the comic.
I
but-
will follow up and say I also don't think he will be an AI in that series.
Yeah.
I do think he'll be an AI in a movie. eventually, because I don't think she'll necessarily mess with anything Stark related in the first series.
But that's how she built her suit.
Yeah, she could definitely, but I also think she could build her suit inspired by that stuff and
Yeah.
not necessarily get like, hey, so Tony built this thing that Pepper like comes in. I think she spends some time as Ironheart before Pepper's like, so
Yeah.
there's this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like she is directly inspired by Iron Man. Like there's
Oh no, yeah, I'm
it's-
not
it's-
trying to say
yeah,
she's
yeah,
not. I'm just saying like you can definitely not have to pay him for a show,
No,
but pay him
absolutely.
for a movie.
Yeah.
And I could definitely see that being the way this
No, yeah,
goes.
he's not essential to like her actual character. I just want to see it because I like Robert Downey Jr.
Same.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think that's really interesting that we're sitting in a place where these new characters that we haven't been introduced to, we know their next 3 appearances.
Right?
Because Ironheart we know is in now Black Panther, her own show, and
Yeah.
we know she's in Armor Wars.
Yeah. Like America Chavez is in Doctor Strange too, and like that actress was at the premiere for like
Shang-Chi,
Shang-Chi,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh my god,
You know
is
who
she,
else
is she
was
in
Shang-
Shang-Chi?
You know
Oh my
who
god.
else was at the
Oh,
premiere
you
for
talking about
Shang-Chi?
Mother effing
Oh, are we
Ben?
moving to the next
You
news?
talking about the king?
Yeah, he is. Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley
was at the
Kingsley.
premiere for
Yeah.
Shang-Chi.
Trevor Slattery
Trevor
himself.
Slattery.
Oh,
I hope it's not just them being cheeky.
No, he's in it.
It's gonna be
he's
so
confirmed.
good.
He's
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited.
That's
This
so
is the
soon.
first premiere. It's notable because this is the first premiere he's been to for a Marvel film since Iron Man 3.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy
Me too.
that Ben Kingsley will be like his
Even
connection
if
to
it's
the Mandarin
5
stuff acknowledged.
seconds.
I don't give a crap.
It's amazing.
I don't care if we just see him slave Leia style
In a-
sprawled out in front of the Mandarin.
He's just in a
That's
prison.
It. That's it.
Oh, this is gonna be
I'm
great.
into that. All
He's
right.
definitely gonna get like his ass kicked or something in that movie.
He's just in prison.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot to put this one in here, but I did want to talk about it. There's the next DC animated film we know about. Injustice coming, the one after that looks to be the next in the series that is currently going, starting with Superman Man of Tomorrow. Catwoman Hunted.
I did not hear about this. This is exciting.
All that they just say it's an anime film, so I'm probably wrong about where it sits.
Anime.
Yeah, so Catwoman is getting a film. This is going to be her first animated film.
This is great.
This will be directed by a credited director and
Oh
artist,
my god.
Shinsuke Terasawa,
This is incredible.
who did Akira, Mobile Suit Gundam.
wow.
And
Elizabeth. Oh, she's great.
Elizabeth Giles from Victorious will be Catwoman. Stephanie Beatrice from Brooklyn Nine-Nine will be Batwoman.
That's great.
Ooh.
This is great.
Steve Bloom, Solomon Grundy.
Yeah.
Zara Fazal as Talia al Ghul and Nosferatu.
Ooh.
Jonathan Bakes as Black Mask.
Mhm.
Keith David as Tobias Whale.
Okay.
And Jonathan Frakes, Riker himself, as King Faraday and Boss Moxie.
Those are some obscure villains. I
Yeah.
love it.
So yeah, that's basically all we know.
I love Catwoman. I'm a big fan of if you're a character in comics, you've got a cat involved, you're Black Cat or Catwoman, I'm into it. And this, an anime directed by the dudes who did like Gundam. This looks great.
Incredible.
Cool.
Yeah, I saw this and I meant to put this one
It's
on
gonna
there,
be
but
like a anime heist movie. Thank you.
I forgot to put it on there.
Thank you, Lord.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I love the current direction for animated films. This is awesome. Batman Ninja rules.
Yeah.
Give me more of that.
I got it. Yeah.
So Mag's in the chat.
What up, Meg?
Yeah,
Alright.
he says, I need to know where Nighthawk, though.
Oh.
I don't know who Nighthawk is.
Nighthawk's a Marvel character.
Oh, okay.
What about Darkhawk?
Also, wait, Nighthawk. Darkhawk is also a Marvel. Wait, who's Nighthawk? Is Nighthawk also a? Oh no, what happened? Hold on, I gotta look this up.
Mag, do you mean Nightwing?
Oh, hold on.
All
Who's
right.
Nighthawk?
Should we move on?
Yeah, move on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nighthawk's Squadron Supreme, isn't he?
Yes. Wait, I thought that was the. Yes, Nighthawk.
Oh yeah, Nighthawk Squadron Supreme. He's the Batman.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
not Darkhawk.
We'll see him when we see the Squadron Supreme.
Which will be, I bet, sooner than you think.
Black Canary was on the news this week.
Oh,
This was a fun one.
This is. I was so happy, and then I wasn't.
Oh,
I was no. 'Cause
Okay.
Yeah, go.
okay. Well, anyway, so at first Collider said, oh no, not yeah, it was Collider said a Black Canary film spinoff of Birds of Prey is being worked on by Misha Green, Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
Journey Smollett obviously reprising her role as Black Canary. Now it has been confirmed by both Journey Smollett and Misha Green that they are in the early stages working on an HBO Max film.
That's where I'm mad.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's it.
The moment. Okay, so Ryan told me that I didn't see that part.
Neither
So-
did I.
So Ryan told me this. He came down when it was announced, and he's like, "Oh, this is happening," and I'm like, "That's great." Did they say if it's HBO Max or theaters? And he's like, "No." And then it's HBO Max, and I'm like, "Why do we keep putting the non-white
all the
people
diversity
on
characters
HBO Max?"
are on HBO Max?
Excuse me, what are we doing?
Come on, man.
Yeah, I agree.
It's getting to the point where it's like really transparent.
It's like you can. It's obvious.
I'm waiting for them to announce that the Black Superman film's going to HBO Max.
Yeah, I'm gonna riot.
Which one?
The Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Oh yeah, we don't know if that one is. We know about the Michael B. Jordan one though.
Yep.
Which might be a series apparently.
HBO Max series.
I'm like, this is not okay, guys. That
Yeah.
we're gonna keep putting the diversity heroes on HBO Max only. What's up?
And Batgirl.
Yeah.
Woman character. Diversity.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
All right. Misha Green.
Well, that's
cool. She'll probably do Tomb Raider first and then do this.
Yep.
Because they're in early stages. But that's cool.
I'm ready for it.
yeah. I'm really happy that it's Misha Green and Journey Smollett. Like, I'm super
Yeah, they
stoked.
work well together. Yeah.
This would be their third thing together, I believe.
Underground?
Underground and Lovecraft Country.
All right. Probably the most surprising news for me, and Sparks, I would hope, is that Adventure Time announced that a new spin-off is coming.
I won't say this was actually surprising, but
Okay.
I am glad that it's happening.
So HBO Max has ordered a 10-episode miniseries or series. They haven't. They weren't too clear about Fiona and Cake, the gender-swapped versions of Finn and Jake, who are actually from a parallel dimension.
Yeah, so if you watch all of Adventure Time, what you know is that Ice King keeps writing about Fiona and Cake, but he's actually like constantly trying to find a way to connect to them. And we know that in this new series, we're getting Simon, who is the former Ice King, connecting with them finally. That's wild.
Well, if you're there's one episode specifically where they reveal they don't really like say what it is, but they do reveal that Ice King is writing about these adventures because he's getting them beamed into his head from somewhere. And this would be the Simon now meeting Fiona and Cake. And the idea is that I'll just read this real quickly. We'll see Fiona and Cake team up with Simon Petrikov to embark on a multiverse hopping adventure and journey of self-discovery. All the while, a powerful new antagonist determined to track them down and erase them from existence lurks in the shadows.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
you can just the Adventure Time is so vast at this point. You can do so many things.
I haven't-
forever.
I didn't finish Adventure Time, but I got to Fiona and Cake, and I will absolutely watch more of those characters.
I love what Mag has to say. What I assume is Adventure Time. He says need some answers with this universe.
Could be in DC.
Or yeah.
But yeah, Adventure. The biggest lingering question: does Simon and Betty reunite? This could answer that.
Ooh,
I doubt it.
Betty.
Could.
Betty.
Simon
Given the finale of Adventure Time, I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know. I want them to have happy endings.
I
Sparks.
understand that. I think that I will, without saying anything about the ending, I will say that I think that it is better. Kind of sad.
I don't know if it's better.
Betty.
Adam Muto, who is the executive producer, who has been the showrunner creator since Pendleton Ward left Adventure Time. He's been with Adventure Time since. He is going to serve as the executive producer and showrunner of the show. So
Amazing.
like with everything. Awesome. I'm excited for that.
Yeah. I think that's really great. I love that can still be more Adventure Time in the world.
Yeah. Okay. Trailers.
T-Talk.
Well, that was quick.
Oh, not really. It's an hour and a half.
Uh,
Black Myth Wukong.
Hey guys, I like video games. This looks cool.
Hey guys, this is my most anticipated video game currently.
Hell yeah.
hey
I
guys.
want this so bad.
Hey guys. This looks pretty damn cool.
They say next year, and I believe them. But
Do you?
I don't know, man.
It looks really good.
It's a PS5 game, baby. Oh yeah.
It's either a
Oh,
PS5
yeah.
game or it's a PC only game. Because
That-
I remember at the
that
end,
scared me,
so
you're right.
we watched a 12-minute long gameplay trailer, and at the very end of it, we saw Epic Games, Steam, the Steam logo,
Yeah.
right?
NVIDIA, yeah. That's
that
all
was-
PC stuff, yeah.
and pretty much all PC stuff. So we're like, ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
I wouldn't be shocked if it comes to PC first. Especially if it's a game if it doesn't have an English dub, if it's just like a Japanese, Chinese or
Oh,
Chinese
for sure,
game,
for sure.
Chinese,
then it's
yeah.
definitely like an import situation maybe.
Yeah.
So like PC might have to be the way to go.
Right.
Yeah, because all the entire trailer, there was a few subtitles. Not the entire thing was subtitled.
This
Yeah.
is one of those games like this trailer did cement for me that like I think I would do this non-dub.
Yeah.
If I have the choice, I think I would prefer to do this non-dub.
How it's supposed to be, yeah.
Call of Duty Vanguard.
I didn't think you'd put this on there, but I appreciate it. This one's just for me. Call of Duty, I used to be super big on Call of Duty, and then they stopped putting campaigns in there because literally like 2% of the people who buy the games play the campaigns. They only play it for multiplayer. So they chucked it. And a lot of those campaigns are really good. And this team specifically, it's a very diverse team of writers, like people I follow on the internet, and they seem to be extremely excited for the stuff they're doing with this campaign. So it's made me really excited because like I know the stuff that like they're fighting for diversity and like in like big shooter games. You know, it's not something you really think about.
Cool.
Yeah, but it's like it's a mostly female-led team writing this game.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
So
trailer didn't sell me, but you did.
no, yeah, and again, the trailer, it's just like another.
It's because it's cinematics, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm like, okay.
Some of
I
it
mean,
is
they're
some of it
cool.
is gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
you
it
can
is-
tell which parts of it were gameplay.
Yeah.
But I was also because I mean, to be perfectly
It's
honest,
just a trailer. Yeah. It's
well,
not
not just that. To be perfectly honest, every time I hear Call of Duty, whatever this year's version of Call of Duty is going to be, I write it off.
I do too.
I used to be into Call of Duty, like Call of Duty 2, 3. I was hyped for Modern Warfare 3, and then I just fell off the train because I just like I don't care about these games
I
anymore.
think I stopped at Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah, but like this one, like I believe in the team, and like it is on PS5, like native PS5 instead of being like a backwards compatible PS4, PS5 game. So like it's gonna look good, and I really enjoy a good shooter campaign, and I haven't had one in a long time.
Solid.
So
I mean, for me, the best shooter campaign I've had in a long time was Doom 2016.
yeah.
Did
but-
you see
But
that?
that's not like a military.
That's
shooter.
true. It's not.
Did you say that Halo Infinite's not going to launch with multiplayer?
What?
It's not. It's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not launching a co-op campaign,
Oh, the co-op campaign, right?
which is just as bad. No,
Oh,
yeah.
no. What the hell?
So that game's in a bad state. It is coming out this year with single player campaign and multiplayer. That's it. No Forge,
It
no
is
co-op
coming
campaign.
out come hell or high water.
And they say, and they have not put a release date on it still, but they're saying it's coming 2021 no matter what.
They're going to
So
shit that game out.
they're gonna
Oh.
shit that game out, and they're gonna update it for 3 years, guys.
No.
Woohoo!
Oh no!
At least they're being transparent about it early, which I guess is fine, but it still sucks.
343. What are you doing?
They don't have enough time to make the best game that they want.
I'm glad I decided not to pick up this game.
Hey, if you have Game Pass, you don't even have to buy it.
That's true.
It's true.
There you go. Yeah, I remember Halo was the dopest, you guys. What a shame.
There are 2 Pokemon trailers that dropped this week.
Yes, there were.
Oh yeah, Ben, let's go.
Yeah, let's go on an adventure. Should we talk about the remakes or our
Let's
gifts
talk about the
first?
remake. Yeah.
Okay, so Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are the 2 remakes. We got the final trailer coming out. Both games are going to be released on November 19th. And I am excited because Diamond was the game that got me back into Pokemon. I completely skipped Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, and I picked up Diamond,
too.
and I love.
See, I'm the opposite. I played Ruby, and then this is the one I skipped, so I might play this one.
I have like when this remake was first released, a lot of people were saying like, "Oh, I don't like the chibi styles." Like, the chibi style is freaking adorable. It's
I mean,
cute.
like, it's just a style. Like, I get what
Yeah.
people don't like it, but I think some people are being a little crazy.
Yeah, they are being there. I feel like some people are just being mean for mean's sake.
People on the internet being mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Twitter.com.
Shocking, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I think, like, I mean, it's still, hey, man, if you played a Pokemon game, you know exactly what it is.
And
But,
also,
like,
and this is a remake.
Yeah.
This is a remake of a highly beloved Pokemon game, and it's like, hey, it's like, here you go. We're gonna have to do some good new quality of life improvements.
Yeah, they've added stuff from Sword and Shield, like fashion and
Uh-huh.
there's like Pokemon like style events and things you do.
Well, that was in the original game.
that was in the original.
But
Oh, it
now-
was?
yeah, it
Oh, I
was.
didn't play that one.
You
Okay.
got to you essentially it was like a Pokemon fashion show,
Yeah.
and if you had the cutest Pokemon, then you got to then you like won special prizes.
Yeah.
But now they're doing a little more like when you were saying stickers, you get to add stickers to a Pokeball, and then when you throw the Pokemon out in a battle, you get little effects instead of the standard Pokeball
It's
effect.
a cute little cosmetic thing.
It's
you
a
know?
nice
Yeah.
it's a nice little cosmetic thing, but other than that, the game looks gorgeous. I mean, it's not. I know, go looking at DS graphics to Switch graphics, it's like leaps and bounds better.
Yeah.
But just seeing the gameplay and seeing the animations of the trainers, it's like this looks really good.
There's like a new underground system where it's almost like a Zelda Dark World. There's like an entire underworld like of this level.
I want to say a version of that was in the original. I mean,
Oh!
to be perfectly honest, when I played Diamond, I just did the main story and got out.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I didn't do any of this other stuff. I didn't do the side stuff. I didn't do the underground. I just tried to beat. I just went to the Elite Four. Once I beat them, I was gone.
It just seems like there's a lot of content.
Was the
Yeah.
alphabet Pokemon Uno?
Missing now.
Okay, yeah.
Missing now.
Wait. Are you talking about Unknown?
Unknown.
Oh, what missing now? Oh,
No,
that's
Masingo is the glitch.
That's the whoa. That I just transported back to like 1999 with that. Oh my
You did.
God.
Masingo's the glitch. The alphabet is unknown.
That's so crazy.
What do you want to know, Brandon?
I know.
Oh, I just remember the last time I played a Pokemon game, I went through that cave
Yep, and got the
Oh,
letters.
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time to
Yep,
collect
yep.
them all.
Oh yeah, that was Gold and Silver.
That was a while ago.
dumb. I wasted my time.
26 different Pokemon you had to go through for that.
Pokemon Legends Arceus. I won't say blew my mind, but like it's definitely like this is the Pokemon game that I have wanted, like an open world.
I definitely feel that obviously Diamond and Pearl are remakes.
Yeah.
So that foundation is there. All they can do is just build upon that. Arceus is a completely new game, and I feel that this is, if whatever new dual versions of Pokemon we're gonna get, this is the style we're gonna get from it. Because just looking at it, like this is kind of like what I wanted with Sword and Shield, and kind of what I feel like Sword and Shield missed the mark.
You think this is the future of Pokemon?
Yes.
Yeah,
I 100% agree with that.
I agree with that. Yeah. Like I did think like this. It's still like it looked a little chuggy at times. Like
it's definitely pushing against that Switch hardware.
and that Switch is not a powerful machine either, so that's really problematic right there already. But like for being the foundation of what the future of Pokemon games is, like this is what I want. Open world, you can ride around on your Pokemon. Like it is those Pokemon games just expanded outwards. So this is what I want. Like it still looks really, really like not in great shape. So like it's still like a year away.
It
so
looks
like,
rough.
It looks rough. So like it's still a year away.
It's about 6 months away. It's coming out
6 months away.
Less
I think-
than 6 months.
I
It's
think
coming out in January, I think.
I think the concept looks like is good and like what they're wanting to do. I do think that the game doesn't look on the quality level that I think it should be.
A
striving
Pokemon
for,
game normally has.
partially because again, like the Switch hardware is limiting them,
Yeah.
and
Whereas
that just sucks.
Sword and Shield, it looks gorgeous, but once again, that's a remake. There's not a lot. They're not building anything from the ground.
You mean Pearl and
Damn it! I said Sword and
It's
Shield.
okay.
you did.
Pearl and Diamond and Pearl. That's what I meant.
I saw I watched some Wind Waker footage. Somebody modded like they had like a modded like GameCube they to run it on a PC, and they ran Wind Waker on Unreal Engine 4, and like so like Wind Waker looked like a 2021 game. Nintendo, oh my god, if they just got with the times, dude, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like they would make the most beautiful, incredible games because like their gameplay's solid. It's just like they're
It
always
is.
kind of behind the graphics.
Yeah.
Man. Just I want to be more excited. I want to believe in this game, but like it just
I think the thing that gets me is like I'm looking at the character models and I'm like, these look like relatively the same level of character models that I'm encountering in Let's Go Pikachu.
100%.
And I'm like, we need to move forward.
Yes. But the problem is they're going back in time. So it's like they're gonna keep
No, for sure. But I mean like the graphic wise, like the way
yeah.
that they move, the way that they are. I'm like,
low
these are
polygon.
like and I'm like, we should be striving harder.
Yeah, it's true.
Night books.
Kirsten Ritter is a witch lady.
She is a witch lady.
Got to get these kids to write them night books.
Yeah, this looks alright. This is a new Netflix movie.
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 I'm intrigued. Yeah,
I like Christian Ritter.
It
Um,
kind of
I like Goosebumps and
Yeah.
House with the clock in its walls.
Yeah, there you go.
oh,
That was close.
oh, throwback to throwback to a time when Brad said something else that rhymes with the word clock, but we're
love
not going
it.
to say it on the air. Use your imagination, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy.
But so yeah, I was about
by the way, Mag said that they changed parts of the contest.
Oh, yeah,
for, the remakes.
Yeah, I totally. When he says contest, I'm pretty sure he means like the beauty contest.
Yeah,
I'm
for,
assuming so.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, night books. Yeah, like a kid has to write some spooky stories for a witch lady. Like it seems like a.
Spooky Witch Arabian Nights.
There you go. It looks like a charming kids movie. Yeah.
Squid Game.
Yeah, this looks wild. It's like
what if Battle Royale, but it's a game show and we do it to the adults?
Yeah.
It's about time.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah, this looks like a cool premise.
Love Battle Royale.
It's interesting that it's like a whole series. So like, I wonder how much happens in each
This is a
episode.
Korean language show.
Mhm.
Be
Yeah,
right-
this looks wild.
I'll be right back.
Okay, love you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I can't say I'm gonna watch it anytime soon, but it definitely looks cool.
You know what I really want to see? I want to see that zombie feudal Japan show.
Oh, Kingdom, the show
Yeah.
that I talk about, how great it is.
I
Yeah.
thought that was South Korean.
It is South
It's
Korean.
South Korean. Yeah, so is this Squid Game.
Squid Game.
Nice.
That's why I remember.
Yeah, Kingdom just had a Netflix movie come out. That's like it's like a side story. It's great.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Really gotta
Yeah,
watch.
Squid Game looks really
Gotta
good.
catch up on these shows.
There's too many.
Got to catch up on them all.
Boy.
Remember
Pokemon.
Remember Masters of the Universe Revelations?
Yeah, I do.
No.
Well,
Haven't watched
well,
it, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, Kevin Smith did a Masters of the Universe Revelations. We all remember that.
I do.
He did a revelation.
Yeah. Well, now there's a new He-Man show coming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They canceled it already. No, that's not true. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is going to be a reimagining of the He-Man saga, a more futuristic style. This is from the same studio that put out Troll Hunters, Three Below, and Wizards.
Yeah. Yep.
I do really enjoy their animation. To be fair,
I think it works for those shows. It did not work for me in this
there's
show.
not a lot working for me in this one.
Yeah. I'm sure it works for some people, but it's like this
Sure,
art,
kids will like it.
this art style for this universe, just didn't click with me, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean some of the jokes did land a little bit in this trailer. So I might give it a shot. I'd sooner watch the Revelations show. Though.
Of the two He-Man
yeah.
shows, I would watch the other one.
Yeah.
I would personally watch Revelations, but I
And
mean,
to be fair, I think this is the point. A kid show and an adult
yeah,
show.
I think that too. I saw some really gross headline articles about this, and I'm like, I'm not gonna give that person the satisfaction of the click, so I'm gonna ignore that.
No clicks.
I don't like seeing He-Man in this animation.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't think it looks
Understandable.
good.
yeah,
Yeah,
same.
I get you.
I mean,
Okay.
if you do like it, more power to you. That's awesome.
I just don't think it translates well.
Yeah, I get you.
His big eyes bother me. And they don't bother me on literally any other character I've ever seen in this animation style. But for some reason, He-Man's big eyes just throws me off.
But to say one positive about this,
Yuri Lowenthal.
that
I like him.
I like the design of the sword.
It's because it's a big sword, Ben. You love
Yes.
big swords.
Hey, if something works for you, something works for you.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's fine. We're done with that. Unless you got more.
He's some kind of He-Man.
That was pretty bad.
That was bad. Although them just like walking into it was like, we have to be careful. Zoom.
That was the one good bit.
Foundation. Looks really expensive.
Yo, guys,
does.
it's not often that I see a trailer and I just see millions of dollars on screen every second. This looks big and bold in like the big sci-fi way that like I yearn for. Like this is the type of show that like I want to watch all the time, but they don't get made enough. So like I really want to give this one a shot. It's on Apple. I'm sure. Oh, I got free Apple through something.
This one over there.
Oh, you're funny.
Do you still have it? Because it was only active for 1 year after you got your most recent Apple device.
No, I think actually through like Xbox Game Pass, I can unlock 6 free months or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Xbox Game Pass gives I have free Disney Plus, free.
We have Apple.
I want to watch the show. I love Lee Pace.
Which I find
I love
interesting
Jared Harris.
Jared Harris. There you go.
because Xbox is through Microsoft and Microsoft hates Apple.
Hey man,
Interesting.
it's called
Money.
Talks.
True.
Also, it might not be that. I just know I have like a free thing somewhere. But no, yeah, this looks like a really big like. Hey, like the idea is Jared Harris has a what is it? An algorithm prophecy.
A foundation.
A foundation for like the future, and it's gonna go against like the Empire, and it's like a big sci-fi Game of Thrones thing. And I'm like, this looks sick. This looks great.
Based off a book series.
Based off Isaac Asimov's books, it is.
Star Wars Visions. Real quickly, let me announce the voice cast, or some of them. I don't have them all.
Real quick before you go,
Yeah.
Is Adam Driver in this?
No.
Okay.
I heard him too.
I thought, yeah.
He didn't show up in my list.
Okay.
Okay. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Lucy Liu, Bobby Moynihan,
Wow.
Neil Patrick Harris,
Wow.
Simu Liu,
Ooh.
Alison Brie,
Oh.
Masioka,
Sweet.
David Harbour,
Yeah.
George Takei,
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Henry Golding,
Yeah.
Tamara Morrison,
Yeah.
as Boba Fett, Henry Golding.
Mhm.
I said that already. Jamie Chung, James Hong,
Yeah.
Kyle Chandler,
Yeah.
and more. Those are like the significant names. That
Those
we
are
recognize.
literally all famous people.
They are.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So they are in Star Wars Visions, which looks incredible.
I am so excited for Visions. Oh my god.
So the first time I saw this with Sparks, I said to him, if this lands, I easily can see this being my favorite Star Wars thing ever made. Just from the trailer alone, we've all been a part of Star Wars, or at least I've been a part of like the Star Wars like love since I was a child. And Star Wars has always looked the same. It's always looked like a bunch of these people look like these live action people. They always had cartoons, and it looks like them too. This is the first time Star Wars has really looked like different in like 40 years. Like straight up anime-esque kill a kill animation style happening, and like I'm over the moon. I'm with Ben here. Like this trailer floored me.
The different animation styles really work.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for all of them. They all look dynamic and fluid and
Unique.
Yeah. There's some the one that's one of the ones that Trigger is doing with the girl with 6 lightsaber
oh
arms.
my god.
And
That-
the lightsabers wrap around.
The
It
kid with
looks-
the way the kid even just puts the kyber crystal in the lightsaber has got me hyped. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn.
just the way the kyber crystals load up is like he's loading up a gun, but then he turns his lightsaber on, and just the art of the Trigger. I mean, obviously the Trigger one has me hyped up because Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill is like, oh my god, this looks so hype. It looks so gorgeous. But there's this other shot that's seared into my brain is when that
Carousel.
it's no well that
That was pretty cool.
besides that It's in the beginning of the trailer. It's a black and white shot. It's where
That's
well,
the one that the parasail's from. Yeah.
no, the black and white one where the one
That's the same.
that's
it's the same
episode.
style, yeah, but
Animation,
he
yeah.
draws the lightsaber. It's
No,
a
I
red
know.
lightsaber, like he's drawing a sword, and I'm like, this looks so freaking cool.
Yeah. I'm just so excited. I know these are probably
When
only
you-
going to be like 20 minutes long, but
When you have actual anime studios make the anime looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's wild concept.
Netflix, get your head out of your ass.
There you go, Netflix. Come on.
So-
They don't got that Disney money.
That's true.
I really kind of want to reach out to Ken Knapsack after this is over, so we can talk about Visions with him.
Hell yeah.
The
I'm
whole
sure
thing.
that dude loves Star Wars. He could talk about it. Oh yeah.
I'm so excited for Visions.
I want to watch Visions the whole thing, and maybe
and I love the voice cast. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a
These
lot.
guys
That
are
voice-
awesome.
that voice cast rules.
That's it. There's no more trailers.
Good.
Except for Eternals.
Oh,
Wrong movie.
Well, I mean, there's choirs and
I
stuff.
don't know. We're going into the unknown.
That's true.
We totally
The
are.
The most unknown the MCU has ever been.
So this is the final trailer we'll talk about is Eternals.
Yes.
MCU number
25.
26.
26. Oh, because Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi?
Bing bong.
Shang-Chi's 25.
Hey guys, I am so happy that we all agreed that last time that Eternals trailer sucked, but I think we can all agree this one's pretty cool.
No, I hated it.
Cool.
No, I loved it.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
pretty
This one,
cool.
I
this one is
flashed
more of what I wanted.
I flashed back when this trailer came out to when I was at D23
Uh-huh.
before the pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
And they had the like concept art thing, and I took the picture and I said, "Yo, there's a celestial on this banner." And I sent you guys that picture. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know what this means. Well, now we know.
We see two
Now we know.
Celestials in this trailer.
Yep.
Yeah. That's really this. I love the visualization of the Celestials. I think they look awesome.
They're very big, and I love that they are keeping them like how big they are, because obviously like nowhere we've seen in the Guardians movies, like that's a head and people
Yeah.
live in that. We see one of these
That-
Celestials creating life and creating a universe at the end. Like
That
that's the
First
scale.
Celestial, the first Celestial, yeah, that's awesome. The first Celestial we meet is actually was also in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2
Ah,
in
there
the
you go.
beginning. The Guardians of the Galaxy level,
And
you
Gar-
fight Isan
Well, he's
the
also
Searcher.
there. You go. Yeah,
And that's who that first one, that first
yeah he gives
Celestial
big
we see.
thumbs up and thumbs down.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
This trailer definitely sold me a lot more. I will be honest, I don't think the villain designs, I don't think the
Deviants.
deviants look particularly good, and I've seen the toys, so I know exactly what they look like, and I think they just look like kind of ugly monsters. But honestly, if the rest of the movie looks as stunning as it does, it's not going to bother me.
Just the fight scene where, like, when Angelina Jolie has her spear and her shield, just the way it.
I really
it
like how they
looks.
visualize the powers of the Eternals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even when like Camille Nanjiani has like his finger guns, and just the way that these weapons or these abilities manifest.
Mhm.
Or when that one guy, Rob Stark from Game of Thrones, I can't remember the actor's name, has the eye beams.
Icarus.
Thank you, Icarus.
Yep.
It's like, man, this just looks gorgeous.
Yeah, Cersei could turn buses into roses because she can manipulate matter at a reality level. She's the thing I'm gonna have interesting with is like the deviants are gonna have to be like incredibly powerful, because all of these are literally like god level like people. Like Cersei can take on the Avengers all on her own. She can literally turn anything to roses on a whim. So like the threat here has to be huge. And I just don't see right now how a dragon monster is going to be the bigger threat than Thanos. But we'll see. I think the
Interesting.
Celestials might actually be the threat, and the Deviants, or it's going to be like a racism thing. Like, hey, maybe the Deviants aren't so bad.
Interesting thing that we talked about this when Endgame and Infinity War were coming out. That we speculated that perhaps in the MCU, Thanos is not a deviant.
Mhm.
And I think this trailer kind of solidifies that.
Yeah, and that's
Because they said they can't interfere unless it's a deviant.
Yes.
And if Thanos was a deviant, they'd have
yes,
to interfere.
and it's a bummer because Thanos and Athena are cousins in the comics. Like they are blood relatives. So like you don't have to have Thanos be a deviant, but like they are really, really going out of their way to make sure that they're not tied when they are. Which
Yeah.
kind of, again, comics don't have to line up, whatever.
I also feel like
they've
it's-
untied characters before in the MCU.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
I also feel like it's less impactful to like have them be related if we're never having Thanos again anyway.
Yeah.
Like
That's true.
he's
not
erased, so it's like we're not gonna do anything.
We don't
with
want to
it
live
anyway.
in kind of like our Kang. Like we had a nice conversation with a friend Mike that will go up. But like it's the Kang conversation of like you got to set up another villain. Like you don't want to do it here.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with it. I just think it's kind of, they did it because it feels like a loophole.
Yeah.
Like it feels like they're like, well, we have to, if these characters have been around so long, where have they been? Why haven't they interviewed? Well, this would be why.
Yeah.
and I accept it. I'm into it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not.
I
gonna
am
complain about it,
intrigued
but-
by the concept that the energy taken to bring back 50% of the universe is what's causing the thing that's making them have to come out.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you just brought back 50% of people who are gone, like it's not like you're gaining extra energy. You're regaining.
because
Well,
there was
but
a massive amount of energy that erased everyone. And
Yeah.
I remember Rocket talks about that the energy
the gamma
reverberate.
surge or whatever. Yeah.
You know, I think that probably a similar energy surge happened.
That
on Earth.
awakened the deviants or something.
or something.
Mm.
Did something.
Easier to take all of them out than put them all back.
No, it's true. Yeah. Yeah. This definitely looks like the most impressive visually Marvel movie because like they're using just like easy things like just natural lighting and like practical effects and stuff. It's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like this a lot more than the first one.
100%.
I got a sense of everything that I didn't like about the first one. I didn't get a sense of who the characters were. I had the visual style that impressed me. All that changed in this trailer.
Yep.
I definitely understand some of these characters as much as I need to enjoy this trailer. Get me interested in the movie. Way better trailer.
You still haven't seen Green Knight, correct?
Not yet.
Okay, that's okay. An actor from The Green Knight and an actor who shows up in a lot of things, Barry Koenig, his name is. He's the shit thief guy. Anytime that guy shows up in a movie, he's a bad guy. So just get ready for that guy to be an evil Eternal because he's got an evil smirk on his face, and I'm just ready for him to be a bad boy. Every movie.
Yeah, I really I'm interested to know what the Eternals' origins are going to be in this one. Obviously the Celestials made them. But I wonder, like, are they Earthlings? Is what I'm wondering.
Oh, I don't think so.
No, I think it doesn't even state that they came here a certain amount of
7,000
years
years ago. Yeah.
Right. Are
they're
there
not
people
Earthlings.
in 7,000 years?
Yeah.
I'm wondering, did the Celestials make them Eternals?
Oh, I see what you mean. I'm gonna guess no. We
Yeah.
do see
Because that was what it's like in the comics.
Yeah. We do see like a little like sphere go into Salma Hayek's throat. That's because she is the speaker for the Celestials. She is the one who communicates with them. So she has like a special little Adam's apple. She can talk to God.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Man, that movie's coming out soon. So is Shang-Chi. We got so much good stuff. Oh my
Yes,
god.
we do.
Shang-Chi's just in a couple weeks.
2
2 weeks.
Holy shizzles. Fizzle sticks.
Sorry about all that noise. Okay. Should we get into our main topic then?
Let's
Yeah.
free guy our way there.
For a second there.
All right. We are going to be talking about Ryan Reynolds' new film by Sean Levy, Free Guy.
Free guy.
This came out
Free
last
Guy.
week, so full spoilers for this film. We're going to be talking about everything about it. So if you don't want to know anything about it, skip ahead, pause, whatever you want to do. Just full spoilers. You've been warned. So what do we think about Free Guy, Ryan? Since you're right next to me.
Hey, it's me. I did not want to see this movie because I hated the trailers. And then good word of mouth started happening. I'm like, I don't believe you. And then you guys started watching it. And then I watched it. And this movie is really good, you guys. I think it's pretty good.
Ben.
Well, I said it last week when we, Brandon, you and I talked about this when we were talking about our weeks,
Yeah.
and I absolutely love this movie. This is my favorite. As of right now, this movie for me is better than Ready Player One.
I really
That was
wish
not
Ben.
a
you
high
would
bar to
stop
clear.
doing that, because if you say
Every movie I've seen this year is better than Ready Player One.
every movie I've ever seen is better than Ready Player One, no, that's overly mean. But you always say this movie is better. I like the movie better than Ready Player One. You should like so many before you get to Ready Player One. There should be 100 movie lists.
He's making a video game movie comparison.
Yes.
I understand.
Yes,
I know,
you
but he
ass.
always does.
I mean, like, but I also think, like, obviously, like, obviously, it's obviously a superior film.
Is it better than Last Action Hero? I don't know.
That's where it gets
very similar
dicier.
type of movie.
I haven't seen Last Action Hero in like 20 years, so
Yeah,
I
no,
can't
I was
comment.
the same way.
Sparks, well, why don't you go?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I saw it twice this week, so that's obviously like I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's marketed terribly.
Horribly.
What a horrible disparity between marketing and final product. But
Looking back, the only thing of the marketing I liked was the Deadpool and Korg reaction.
It's not even in the movie.
I'm so happy for my girl Jodie Comer getting to do this. She's awesome. I've become a big fan of her in the past year, and I'm so happy for her having this. She's got The Last Duel lined up.
Yeah.
She's going to become a household
Where
name
do you know
quick.
her from again?
Killing Eve.
Killing Eve, right?
I highly recommend everybody watches it. She's the reason to watch that show. She's great on it.
Is she Eve?
She is not. She's the person who wants to kill Eve.
Oh,
Get it because they're killing Eve.
Gotcha.
Yeah, before we go, we got. I cannot say this.
He needs vindication.
No, I don't need vindication.
He
But
told me how.
Adona Zedek. Yeah, I totally butchered that.
Adoni Zedek.
Adoni Zedek says, "I want to know everything. Give me everything. Spoil the whole world for me.
Hi,
We
Marty.
most certainly will." And then he said, "I support your Barb." And I'm talking about video game movies. God damn it!
I gotcha.
Obviously, every other movie
Marty-
is better
Marty,
than Ready
go-
Player One.
Marty,
Frack.
go see the movie for sure. You're gonna
Yes.
love this.
Yeah, you would like
That's
it a
our
lot.
friend Marty.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then go see Wreck-It Ralph, and Wreck-It Ralph 2, and then keep going down the line of movies
And then watch
that
The
have
Last
video
Action
games in
Hero.
them. The Last Action Hero,
Even
and
though it's
then
a
probably
movie.
start Ready Player One. Anyway, I'm done with the bit. I promise.
Listen.
Are you?
Listen.
Yes.
It's just a sweet, sweet fantasy, baby.
I adore this movie. This is not my favorite movie of the year. I don't know what it is yet, but this will definitely meet my top 10 movies of the year.
This didn't have
at least.
a green knight in it, so sorry. That's,
Are you
Bar-
sure? Are you sure about that?
I didn't see the deleted scenes.
I did go back to watch the first trailer, and I do remember the very first trailer, 1800 years ago.
Mhm.
That I was interested. It got me like interested in the movie, and I was probably going to see it anyway. And then it was marketed for the next decade of our lives. And I just got sick of it.
poorly.
And
Marketed
poorly.
poorly.
Yeah.
Each time worse than the last.
Like now that I've seen the movie, I know what it is. They don't lean into what makes the movie good at all.
No.
Like none of the heart, none of the fun, none of like the like a guy trying to
And-
like become something. Like none of that stuff.
There's kind of a benefit in the fact that like when I saw it, none of the best bits had been ruined for
That's
me.
true,
Not
yeah.
a single one, because none of them had been shown in the trailers. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, all this really hits. And I'm like, boy, but the marketing was so bad.
Yeah. There are moments in the trailer that we see as like in the end of the trailer that are in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And I for a movie that had like 4 or 5 trailers, the fact that they didn't show, like Spark said, the best bits is honestly shocking.
Yeah.
Like
'Cause
they didn't eventually spoil
Because
something.
I think like the best stuff in the movie is like a lot of the smaller stuff. Even though it is a big fun movie, like
Yeah.
the stuff that I think about are some of these smaller jokes and some of the smaller like human moments that like you don't do in trailers.
And I think everyone shines. I love Jodie Comer, and I love Steven from Stranger Things.
Joe Carey?
Joe,
Not Joe Carey.
No.
Jojo
It's a-
Rabbit.
No.
Anyway,
His
he-
name is Joe, right?
Anyway, as far as looking it up, I'll just say what my thought
Yeah.
was. I think they're both great. I think their chemistry works. I think their characters work really well in the script.
Joe Keery.
Joe Keery.
Kiri.
I really enjoy the two dynamic, and I'll wait for this one. Actually, this one, my favorite part. One of my favorite parts of the movie. I don't want to. I think we'll wait to get to
Yeah.
it.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Actually, I might just say it. It's at the end when they come together, and then they come together and they're like, oh, and then it cuts to black before they kiss,
Yeah.
because we got to get to the real love story of the movie.
Yes, which is Buddy and Guy.
Which are Buddy and Guy
God
reuniting.
damn it, I agree with you.
When that happened, I was like, oh, that's too bad we don't get the emotional resonance. And then Buddy, and I'm like, oh, this is why.
The second Buddy shows up, when he comes back, I'm like, yes, Buddy's in there,
Because Buddy's death makes me cry.
it
I
hurt.
was shocked because like it's not like these are like they have like a lot of real depth,
Yeah.
but like it feels so real. It's like, no man, I'm gonna be okay, things will be all right, I might die
Buddy-
now, but like I'm here helping my friend.
This was the best day of my life.
Yeah, as he's
Like-
about to die. I'm like, oh my god.
I freaking love the conversation, because there are so many things about this movie that can just like resonate with me on a personal level, and also what's going on in the world as of right now. But the conversation with between Guy and Buddy when Guy is at Buddy's apartment.
Oh
Damn
my
it, that's what I was
God.
going to bring up. That
Yeah.
it's the
So
best line in the movie.
yeah, it's like
It's the best
Just
scene in the movie.
when they're talking, it's like, because that's when Guy realizes, holy shit, I'm an NPC, I'm not real.
Yeah.
And then he's talking to
So
Buddy
what?
about it, and Buddy's like, is this not real? What you and I are going through? Are
I'm
us
helping
talking?
my best friend.
No,
get
no.
through a tough
Oh, yeah.
time.
Importantly, because this concept has been done in other films and it's always handled not this way,
Yeah.
which is that he's like, okay, so I'm not real. So what?
Yeah.
What do you mean, so what? And he's like, even if I'm not real and all this is fabricated and you're not real,
This
moment
moment
is real.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right here, right
It's
now,
the
what
good
we're
shit.
doing, that's real.
Yeah.
and that's enough.
And like the other thing that I remember earlier in the film is like right when Guy gets the glasses and he's talking about it, is like we can do so much more than just go to work, clock in and clock out every day.
Yep.
And I know that, and I know that's like the slippery slope for like Guy finding out exactly what this world really is. But at the same time, I'm just sitting there going, "Oh hell yeah, it can't be more than I'm doing right
this
now."
This is very much like, hey, you don't have to live a mundane life, regular person.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that when Guy starts glitching. Well, not really glitching, but when his AI is unlocked, because he sees Jodie Comer, he affects the other people in the world in different ways. When Steven, I can't remember his character name now.
Keys.
Keys. Yeah.
When Keys looks to the individual NPC AI and it's like, she learned how to make a cappuccino through trial and error. I was so proud.
Yeah.
I was so proud.
God,
Hold up. Maga saying that even a security guard cried.
Yeah.
When that man was a damn hero.
That security guard was a goddamn
Yeah.
hero.
Oh, so good.
With all the
So
security
good.
guys at Tsunami,
That-
it's like,
It was early on in the movie that I knew I was really gonna like this movie, and it's when he goes to get a cup of coffee and he wants a frappuccino, and she's like, you get a cup of coffee. What do you?
There's a tank in the background that
just
putting
like,
his gun
and then
on him.
Yeah.
you get the slow turn to the angle, and it's
Yeah.
just like, I'm sorry, you get coffee every day, and it's like, I
I
think I'd like a cappuccino, and everyone in the place is like,
My favorite
No.
line, it's the cop, Officer Johnny's like, I gotta shoot you.
yeah, no, he's
No,
like,
not
somebody's
only
about
that.
to get shot.
Not only that, there is a freaking tank
That's
in
what
the
Brandon was
That's what
saying.
I
yeah,
said, yeah.
there's a tank and the tank is just swiveling over.
when
I think I gotta shoot you.
when he the three Officer Johnny moments are
Officer
really
Johnny!
fun. Are really funny to me when he gets hit by the car and he's just
So
like,
good.
Officer Johnny.
Crack
Why is he yelling
the
his
F
name?
up.
I love it.
Crack the F up at that one.
So good.
So I really like that bit too. I thought that bit was great. Really love that scene. It does confuse me because the rest of the film, the world doesn't react to him going
Yeah, that's
against
true.
code. And I'm like, why was there and like, I thought the room was fine. The tank part is the part that throws me. I'm like, it's almost like there's something built in to stop the AIs from doing that.
Yeah.
But that never comes up again.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I don't care because the movie's too good
Yeah.
and that scene was too enjoyable. So I don't
Right.
really give a shit. But the logic doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's fair. There's a lot of things in this movie that when I first saw the trailer, I was like, "There's no way this film could be as inventive as it really should be for being in a video game." And
Yeah.
quite honestly, I thought it was.
It was.
I
Yeah.
thought they
so-
nailed the world.
Surprise! It blew my expectations out of the freaking water.
This is something Ryan and I talked about where you can tell that this is written by people who know about video games.
Right.
Like this is not just making up video game bullshit. Like this is obeying like the rules and the jargon of how these video games are built.
And it
To
feels
what level
natural.
you can with a film.
Yeah, and it
But
feels,
it is doing it right.
I know Zach Penn was one of the writers. I think it was Zach Penn and one other guy who
Yeah,
wrote this.
Zach
movie.
Penn's he's a big old nerd. Oh yeah.
He wrote
like
many Marvel movies.
It never talks down to you, and it never oversimplifies or overcomplicates. Like it's exactly what it needs to be every line for like big, because like if you don't play video games, you could still enjoy this movie 100%. It
Yeah.
explains everything to you.
There's things in this world that I really appreciate, things in the background if you watch it. Obviously there's a lot of chaos happening, but there's like a car that's constantly changing its colors, like the user is changing the color of the car. I really like that. There's
the guy running into the wall over
the guy
and over
running
in
into
back.
the wall and then glitching,
Yeah.
and then he glitches.
Uh-huh.
My favorite thing, one of my favorite laughs in this movie is after guy like he's sad and out of nowhere he gets punched in the face. Now that's funny, but then he runs around and punches the guy behind him in the face, and that's all blurred. That was freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
I was in stitches.
Lot of I think there's some pretty good cameos. I am
Channing Tatum.
I
is
am
in
a
this
Channing
movie.
Tatum super fan.
So good.
He drops out of the sky when he's
I
dropping out of the sky in
knew-
the beginning.
I knew he was going to be doing the Fortnite dances and
Yeah,
stuff like that because
yeah.
I'm like, there's no way you get Channing Tatum who loves dancing.
Oh, he
and
danced
he's
so
not
good.
doing a bunch of dances.
He comes into the screen and he's the first character we see. And I turn to Zara, I go, "Is that Channing Tatum?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, even I'm sitting there going, that can't be Channing
To
Tatum.
And
be
there's-
fair, I
is it?
said that too. I was like, "That can't be," until he took off his glasses.
Yeah, then like when we
damn.
see him in the thing, he's like, and then it's Channing Tatum. It's like, oh shit,
Revengeman Button.
That's the best
Every
name.
I love that name.
Every time his mom comes into the room and he's just screaming as Channing Tatum.
Okay.
It's
Ben,
like-
remember we
you
met
brought
that
it
guy
up.
at Comic-Con?
well, yeah, we totally met that guy at the Comic Con.
Okay, you brought up the mom thing, so now I want to talk about it.
Uh-oh.
This is one of my biggest problems with this film. I think the mom thing is funny, like the idea of his character suddenly shouting at her.
Yeah.
Funny. I'm tired of, and have been for a long time, of the like punching down nerd joke where it's Tina Fey, by the way, and Tina Fey's like, you're 22 living in my house, there is no God. And I'm like, cool, that's like really not representative of our times or being socially consciously aware.
I thought that was
It's
pretty funny.
also cool. Like it's a narrative that really sucks that we're still doing it. I'm like, nerd culture has evolved at this point, and also it's super white based. It sucks that we're still doing that, because the whole reason why that's even been steeped in our culture, where it's like you as you know, young people should be getting out of the house as quick as possible, going, getting a job, establishing your own family.
My mother.
That's white culture based, because non-white cultures aren't like that. They have different family community
They're stronger together.
structures inside of America, and so that's just pushing that agenda. That thing has been there for a long time, and Free Guy's not guilty of pushing that agenda, but I am tired of that narrative still lingering. It, like every bit that is based around that, it's not the only one that's like that. There's also the line that like bothers me because it's not in Millie's character, but she has the thing
Is
where
it the
like
virginity one?
it's the one where he says, she says, go out there and be a good guy. And he's like, no, I'll be a great guy. And she's like, cool, enjoy your lifetime supply of virginity. And I'm like, why are we still doing this, guys?
Oh, see, that one didn't bother me. The one in the beginning when he talks about, when she says to the guy about like living in his mom's basement, or
that one bothers
me.
That one bothers me too. Like I'm just, we're past this. Like we should be.
This movie wasn't punching down to anyone else, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh yeah, you still live with your mom? That sucks. Like,
for a game that's like so aware of like how video games work, the vast disparity of like people who play video games and things like that, like it's wild to me that we're still doing those kind of bits. And for me, like I find them at this point like they're just super degrading, and it's not even like, oh, I'm taking it personally or something like that. It's just, why are we doing like who are we punching down for? Like there are so many people in our country who can't afford to not live with their parents, and like why should they be shamed for like taking support from a system of family and love that they want to? Like if you're living at home, that's not something to be ashamed of.
Also,
anymore.
22 is not old. You're in college.
That was the other part.
How many of you guys still lived at home when you were 22?
That's the youngest. That's the youngest age I've heard for this kind of bit. Like when it's like in the 30s,
if
40s,
he's 30,
I'm like,
that's
okay,
a different
I get
story.
it.
Yeah.
But this is 22, and I'm like, that is not insane.
When I was 22, I was still in school.
Yeah,
and I was still
exactly.
living with my parents when I was like 25.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's like my biggest problem with the film is I'm so tired of that. And I thought those bits sucked. I didn't think I needed them. I'm so done with that idea, especially like that toxic idea of like, oh, you shouldn't be living with your parents at 22. I'm like, are you crazy in this economy?
I can't
Get out of
afford it.
here.
Well, also even then, I mean, because he's saying like you totally gotta do a shout out to my streamers, my Twitch streamers. Like Twitch streamers, they make some money. I mean, maybe not a whole lot of money, but some of them they make.
You're
bank.
right though. You're right.
And if this guy,
he's supposedly like a popular Twitch streamer.
and if this guy's a popular Twitch streamer, which I'm
we
going to
we see other real life
And
Twitch
all of those other
streamers.
people who are on screen, they're all millionaires, everybody.
Yeah.
So like the fact that this kid
So
is a
if this-
streamer and he's
so
in
this,
his,
yeah, because after that, I mean, I laughed at the jokes with the guy and the mom,
I did too.
but also I'm like, that is kind of a dick move because
Didn't even think about it. Sorry, I was just doing the thing. Sorry.
anyways, I was because I mean those. The more you bring it up, it's like, oh yeah, that is kind of because we should be past this.
Again, like I think the bit of his character in the game world breaking the dialogue moment and shouting at the mom that like guy can't see, that's funny. It's the context of the mom thing that I think is like gross. Frankly, I think it's just gross. Like we shouldn't be doing it anymore. It's stupid.
And with him saying it's like, oh, you gotta look at my followers, you gotta do this, and he has this giant mansion, which I assume it's like this guy has made a name for himself in the streaming circle.
Yeah,
he should definitely be a Twitch partner by this point. And I mean, I'm not a Twitch partner myself, but
he might not be making millions, but he'd be making enough to live on his own.
Yes,
you've got a fair point.
Like if I was 22 years old and I had that many followers on Twitch, oh, you bet your ass
you're absolutely correct.
While we're going, let's stick on the negative train because I don't have that many negatives. I might be alone on this, but I didn't find Taika Waititi particularly funny. I thought most of his lines were kind of awful.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I really liked him actually.
I thought he was trying way too hard and like he's doing the Taika thing, but like I don't think they utilized him well enough. It's like, yo, what's up, boy, big sucker? Like, wow, yelling's funny.
Yeah,
I don't sit in the same place as Ryan. I think that he is successfully insufferable.
I feel that that's what he's supposed to be.
No, I agree. That's why I'm saying
no, but
he's successfully insufferable.
Like successfully, yes, I didn't find him successful. Like I know what they were doing, and for me, like it grated. Which is not something I find him like he didn't write the script, and usually when he writes himself, he's funny.
Yeah.
I thought his gangster boy like was just a little too much for me.
I
don't think he wasn't in the movie too much though.
Yeah, I agree with that. But one of the things I actually do like about Taika Waititi is how he's essentially the embodiment of like EA and Activision Blizzard pre the sexual assault allegations.
I do.
Well, the reason why I make that comparison is because EA, Activision Blizzard, a bunch of big AAA companies, especially Activision, maybe not so much on Blizzard's part, is because his whole thing is about making money, making sequels, making just as much bang for your buck as just like raking in all the dough.
Also being old and trying to be young.
Yeah, that too. So like when you get Keys and Millie, they're like, hey, our game would have sold. He's like, I ran the numbers. The numbers say otherwise. It's like, you don't know that. He's like, oh, well, you just need to make money. And that's his whole thing, which is what EA has done, obviously, with Star Wars Battlefront 2, with the loot box systems, Battlefront, or not Battlefront, Activision, with when they scoop up studios who make great games like Toys for Bob or other great studios. It's like that made really good games. They get scooped up and like, you're on Call of Duty now.
Yeah,
it's like, but we want to do this. We made an amazing Crash Bandicoot game. Crash is back, y'all. It's like, yeah, that's cool and all, but COD makes us more money.
Yeah, this is very much very true to what's happening in the gaming industry now. Yeah. I do like Taika's character. I like that he could have been like the big businessman, and he also could have been really dumb, but he's not. He's actually smart, and he is a like programmer, and he like doesn't know what he's doing. He's just evil. So I like that it didn't make him incompetent. He's just not as good as the other guys.
Yeah.
For sure. I one other like negative, and it's a much smaller one, is just the character of Mouser. Not overall, but as far as
Mouser.
Utkarsh and Budkar, he's the one also like on Key's level who's working under Anton.
He's the
friend
guy he's the guy who wears the rabbit suit.
Yes. So my only complaint about him is just like when it comes to the end and he's like
his turn is so fast.
His turn to Keys, I don't think like his relationship with Keys is well set up in the earlier part of the film.
Yes.
It does feel like he's more in Antoine's pocket, and then he's like later at the end like, Keys is my boy, and I'm like, is he? Because like there's been plenty of signs up to this point that you're doing something shitty and you've just gone along with it. Like once Antoine hits the point where he's like boot all the players out and kill their accounts, that's the moment when he should stand up, but instead he waits till the servers, and I'm like, I don't necessarily buy you're on Keys' side.
Yeah, he's more negative with Keys than positive. Otherwise, I would have believed his turn.
Yeah,
but the turn is a little like, oh, this had to happen.
We're lacking a scene where like he actually is Keys' boy, like he says, and I'm like, again, really minor. Doesn't hurt the film really. Just kind of wish that was a little more fleshed out, more than anything, just so that character was stronger.
Yeah, because I didn't hate him, but I did think his turn was like, oh, he has to be the good guy now. I guess,
I kind of saw it coming when he sees Keys walking out with all of his stuff, and then Taika Waititi's character Antoine is like, hey, I stole their ability. He's like, wait, you stole his stuff.
But that's the end. But when they're walking into the servers, that's not when he tells him boot out all the characters and kill them all. That's not when he asks, is there something beyond the horizon? And he says, screw it, drop dude in. We got to get rid of him. Boot all the players out of the game. Like, this is like, there are so many signs before them where like, if he is on Key's side already, then he should have been asking these questions sooner, done something, but they make him Antoine's bitch up to a point that's a little untenable for the character.
Yeah.
And that's, again, like minor, but it is something that I'm like, that kind of sucks. More than anything, I like the actor enough. I want that character to be better. I think that character is a little too two-dimensional.
Yeah. There's way more. I didn't realize this was a Disney movie, first of all.
I forgot.
There was so much like good referential stuff that didn't feel like it was too much or like out of place. Like the Avengers moment. I think it's a good moment. And I don't think it's like it's done too much, and especially it helps when you have the Chris Evans cameo.
So the references in this movie that I absolutely love are like the Mega Buster, the portal gun. They're subtle. They're not in your face like
the Scorpion tank.
Yeah, the Scorpion. They're not in your face. It's like, hey, if you know it, cool. But if you don't worry about it. You're fine.
Yeah.
Like the sight gags for the Avenger shield, the Captain America shield, and the lightsaber. Those were funny over the top gags that I loved.
I just kind of looked at it like, it's a like Fortnite gets all these licenses.
Fortnite does it. Yeah.
So like
100%.
I just figured it was that.
Yeah. Fortnite's one of them.
Yeah. Fortnite's in the game.
That's
too.
the unicorn.
I had figured.
Yeah.
And Fortnite is very much like a very, very much a 1-for-1 of what they're.
It's GTA Fortnite.
It's GTA Fortnite, so they're hearkening to like the popularity of Fortnite and that kind of thing. So it makes sense. And I do think like the licensing things feel in place.
Yeah.
They feel like they're just as present as like Sonic in Wreck-It Ralph
Yeah.
and things like that, where I'm like, that's appropriate and not like taking away from the story of the film, not taking away from what we're doing. So I did like those. I wish that they hadn't all been kind of ruined for me before I saw it, but it still was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Not all, but like I knew Chris Evans was in the movie. I didn't know the context,
Oh.
but I did know before I saw it because
I-
that had gotten it out. I knew that the Mega Buster was in it, and
I didn't know
I
nothing.
knew that the Fortnite hammer was somewhere in it. So I was looking for those things. I didn't know about the shield moment, but some of these things I knew. And this one, I wish I hadn't seen whatever TV spot it was that ruined Dude for me.
Oh, I didn't see Dude.
Oh.
That's not a TV spot, that my friend.
Whatever
That's
it
the
is.
4th trailer.
So, okay, whatever. I don't think because I purposely, that was the last trailer, right?
I mean, it could have been seen in theaters.
No, I think it was like a TV spot in front of YouTube or something that did it. But I did know about Dude. I wish I hadn't. I wish Dude had been a surprise.
Actually,
That's
dude,
the only. That's the only. I know we talked about it before. They didn't spoil the big moments in the trailers. I mostly stand by that. But Dude is the only one that I wish wasn't spoiled by the trailers.
Yeah.
Dude was spoiled for me not because of a TV spot, but because
Fortnite.
Yep, I logged into Fortnite
That's so
and
funny.
there's this dude skit. I'm
He's
like,
just like, "Ah."
why does this look like a scary, jacked up Ryan Reynolds?
Sure.
This is scary. And then, of course, once we get to the scene in the movie where Dude comes out, I'm like,
I love Dude.
He's evil Tally.
God, he is evil towel. Also, another
Catchphrase.
He punches so hard, and yet his hands are so soft.
also, Ryan, another thing that this movie kind of comments on of current video game developer culture, when they release stuff that's completely buggy and unfinished.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like when dude's walking around, he's like, catchphrase.
There are 3 things I love in life: kicking ass, TBD, third thing here.
God, that's see, like they've announced. So they've announced that this is gonna get a sequel. Dude is the guy that like I thought he was perfect for this. This is the type of thing where I'm scared that like they'll put Dude like and he's like the second character in the movie or something, and like they'll just overuse him and kill him. And like he's
I
so
hope not.
perfect.
I hope he's like only in the beginning and the
I
end.
do too, because like that I could see how they could
Friendly gesture.
ruin that character, man.
Oh God, when he just says friendly gesture.
His face looks so weird at times, but he's a video game character, so I'm
Yeah.
like,
I
don't
feel like
care.
that's okay because you do. It's like it's scary. It's very uncanny valley sort of spiel, but at the same time, it's like this is a
He's-
unpolished video game character
Yeah, he's not
that
done.
just got dropped in. And even the programmer was like, let's remember this moment before we all got fired, and
Yeah.
then they pop him in.
Dude.
Oh yeah, Mag also has a comment. He says, "Rumor has it that Hemsworth was supposed to cameo in."
That's so
as
funny.
well."
So on
Funny Instagram post.
So on Twitter, Ryan Reynolds posted all of the cameos, and I stopped looking at the pictures when I realized what was happening. But on the thread, Chris Hemsworth posted, "Haha, thanks for including me, bro." So I thought Chris Hemsworth was in the movie.
Ryan Reynolds also
Oh.
responded and said, "Chris Evans said you were busy bulking up or something."
That's pretty good. So
Well, going back to the whole Evans thing, I lost my shit when when he says
What
what
the
the shit, and my entire theater was in stitches.
I was so happy to see this opening night. I saw this on Thursday.
Ooh.
Because I had a packed theater, and that was an experience I haven't had
Since pre-pandemic.
Since
since
Endgame.
pre-pandemic. Because Black Widow didn't even give me it. Like Alex Trebek shows up in this movie.
Oh
and
yeah.
it's his
Oh,
last.
yeah.
It's his last as Alex. Is that his last time?
my
we'll see
my
Alex
theater,
Trebek.
my first theater, not the one I saw with Ryan, but like my first theater was a little more crowded than the one Ryan and I went
Yeah.
to, and like there weren't that many people, but you did hear the like, oh,
Yeah, my whole theater almost. I was close to the front, so I didn't see the whole thing. But like people would be like, little light claps, being oh, and like a sad sigh. Like it was really
Aw.
sweet. And then every comedy moment landed harder because of the fact that it's a communal space. We're all kind of having this infectious laughter. I always loved watching good comedy, specifically
Mhm.
in a crowded theater. The Chris Evans moment and the lightsaber moment, you couldn't hear the dialogue. My theater was so loud with laughter.
I love that.
Like the second the lightsaber turns on, the Star Wars music swells. It's just like
Well done.
because
Well done.
I'm sitting there going, how the hell do they? Oh, that's right, 20th Century Studios is now owned by Disney.
Yep, yep,
They
yep.
can do that.
I do wonder if it was reshot after the deal, because I do know this film was in production when the deal was going through.
I bet like they were considering it, and then it was like, hey, can we do it? And they're like, yeah, we'll own it. Like,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Why not?
Probably.
It's like, hey, can we please do this funny joke? And they're like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Jodie Comer is fantastic in this.
I
I
agree.
was
Multiple
I was
accents.
nervous that she wasn't going to have enough to do, and I thought she did great. I think that they do a really great job with her as Molotov and her as Millie. I particularly think she really nails the scene where she finds out that guy's an NPC. The
he
wave
found
of
the
things that
button.
she goes through, and she's like, and I'm saying it out loud, why is it so hot in here? And
Yeah.
all the things that she's expressing, I think she's just killer. I adore her. I think she's fantastic
Sparks.
in everything she does.
Oh, he found the button.
Yeah, it's I was honestly, that's a bit I remembered from the trailer, and I remembered it because that was the bit that told me. Up to that point, I thought she was only playing an NPC. I saw that bit in a trailer, and I'm like, okay, so she's a person, because I recognized that was the same person.
Right. Yeah. The trailer kind of, you're wondering, like, are these going to be two NPCs falling in love?
Right. And so I was happy to know that she would be playing both. And I was nervous about that joke not working, but it did work in context. I thought it was pretty good.
And stuff I didn't like in the trailer, now that I have context, works for me better. Because like they showed the kiss in the trailer, and I was like, oh man, they're like, I already know there's gonna be like
they show both kisses in the trailer.
and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like a forced romance, whatever. But like in the moment, like God, the idea of her being the code needed to unlock his AI is like that's like genius. That is like genius. That's so good.
I just wrote that. So there. I don't mind saying this now. At the end when he's saying goodbye to her, and he's like, this is gonna be the last time, whatever. He talks about, he's like, I'm a love letter.
I'm in love with you, and maybe that's my program. But
someone wrote
that programming. I'm a love letter to you, and the author's out there.
That's one of the best lines I've ever heard.
Well, and what I loved about it is that it was this movie has really good payoff to its setups. One of those is like you get the introduction of they do this so well. We meet Keyes, and then we move from Keyes to a video from 2015, and it's just a Gamescom video, so it gives you all the information naturally of an interview with him, and then you see his partner Millie, but you don't see her at first. It's just good. It's good storytelling. And he says, I view all messages as code, all forms of messages. And so that's like him. You are authoring these things. And so that setup is paid off in that moment so well, because you heard everything that she needed to hear for that to land in that moment.
Yeah.
You are on the journey.
And even then, like, you can tell, because the interview asks is like, so you two look closely, and then she's like, and then of course Millie is the first one to say, oh no, we're best friends, really good friends. And you can even see Keith is like, like you can tell in his face that he's like, oh no,
but you know what?
He feels something there, but he can't do anything about it because A, he's on camera, B, he doesn't want to ruin this relationship.
You know what? You don't get it until after. Many times after, because you don't quite catch that his face does change until you kind of think back on it, because it's not overt. So the love story is always there through Guy, but it's not overt until it needs to be.
I fully agree. And like this script is so smart. It's so impressively smart. The way that they do the part where she's being told by him that you can reawaken him, you can do the thing, and she stops the video. You hear her hit pause and it cuts it off, and I'm like, well, that was kind of rude and weird. And then she has to go back and listen to the rest of that video later to get, he was saying it.
Yeah.
He was saying it then.
And he loves me.
You know what I noticed the second time I watched that, in that the first time, because we hear him say, and the first time she's watching the video, we hear him say, so I based it off the person who was sitting next to me, who was doing, and she stops it there.
Yep.
That line is read differently the next time we see it to sound lovelorn, because that's in the moment where the movie is supposed to tell you now she's cued in to what she's been missing.
Right.
And I think that's really smart.
It's so smart. It's such because we're talking about how smart the script is.
Blinds.
One of my favorite things is the blinds.
The blinds is so good.
The blinds are present, and I'm just like, oh, that's just like a weird thing he does, and then it keeps happening. And then the fact that it's the payoff of it is not just the fact that it reveals the answer of what they need, but that it's based in such good understanding of how video games work. That the reason he's seeing it is because he didn't scrub reflections. In a game. Like I'm like, this is incredible. What an intelligent idea.
I love how when you see the clip of Revengeman going into the level and it's like, what is this? And then she sees it, and of course everything gets wiped, and it's like, you said you saw it. I was like,
he's very expressive with his body.
Yeah. But and then when the guy was like, oh yeah, I've seen this part, I'm sitting there going, we've never seen this in the entire movie. This is the first time we saw it. How does Guy see it? And then it's revealed through the reflection. It's like, that's freaking genius.
The moment where they reboot Free City, I wasn't necessarily sad about Guy. I was sad about Cappuccino Lady. I was like, she tried so hard to make those cappuccinos.
She made a cappuccino.
Now that's erased. And the girl who wrote the scathing indictment.
She's doing new things.
Yeah, now she's doing new things. We get a happy ending.
Scathing indictment of
gender roles.
Gender roles.
Yeah.
Like, I was so proud of these two NPCs.
Yeah.
Well
The
done,
guy with the
guys.
hands, and he's like, nope, sorry, it's too
It's
uncomfortable.
such a
Can't do it. It feels too unnatural.
so many good comedy bits, such a well thought out script. Ryan Reynolds, like I kind of understand, especially like before the movie came out, there was a lot of like, oh cool, like we're doing a movie where the NPC who's the background guy is going to figure out that he can be the hero, and it's a white guy, and like I get that. I think the reason it should be Ryan Reynolds is because he does earnestness so well. He makes all of this so casually believable that all his experiences are his first experiences.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of actors can do it the way he does it. And
He
I
sells
think
it, yeah.
he sells it so well. He never feels like it's not sincere.
Every hey Goldie in the morning. Like he must have done 1,000 of those takes
Yeah.
over the course of this movie, and every one of them, like, yep.
Good morning, Goldie. Good
he's-
fucking
he's
morning,
always-
Goldie.
He's always bringing it. Yeah.
He's got the energy for it. He handles the honesty of like this being his first experience with all of these things, the way he plays all these moments. I think the one that stands out is the turnaround, and he just turns around in a circle. He's like, okay. Like he lands all that so well. I'll go be a great guy. Like Ryan Reynolds is so capable of handling the comedy of it that this movie needed, and the sincerity of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think like he's fantastic for the role.
I think that one of the things that I really like about this movie is how the video game is visualized from the outside.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's really it, because once we go outside, it looks like a video game. We see,
But you can see how it becomes the real life
and when
interpretation.
we're in the game, one of my favorite little touches is that when we're in the game, all the players wear sunglasses. Out of the game, they don't.
Right.
They're not wearing sunglasses. And I think that's really
It's
really
something that
cool-
only the NPCs see.
Yeah, and I think that's a really cool idea.
I
and really
agree.
inventive.
They even say is like, oh, we can't. That's a sunglass person. We don't talk to the sunglass person.
Right.
Yeah,
Classism, baby, I love it.
because those are all because they're
It's-
programmed to love the heroes.
Mhm.
And
the characters.
it's a representation of their HUD display.
Yeah.
their
The HUD, yeah.
Yeah, the heads up display.
Yeah.
I thought that was really clever, and I think that all the manipulations of like the world, like when the cops are the two programmers are chasing after
Yeah.
guy,
Make
and
the ramp.
they make the building is morphing around them as,
Oh,
they're,
yeah,
as
yeah.
they're running up the thing to get him.
That's right.
I think that's all really cool. The idea that the train, the murder train,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I thought that's all visualized really well. I was really worried about this movie,
Yeah.
visually speaking.
I'm also really glad that like it's not time loop based.
Oh yeah,
because Ryan was talking to me about this like while we were watching. He's like, "Is this like?" While we were in the middle of it, he's like, "Is this a time loop movie?" And I'm like, "No, because like they die, but they're progressing. Like they're not forgetting the previous day's events.
yeah. They're being
It's-
they're responding.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they respawn, and it's kind of like
They just have routine.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is like an open world Fortnite's GTA style game. So when after the clock passes midnight or a certain time, everything resets. So the quest restarts. So that's why after he dies, he wakes up in his bed. He's like,
There's a really great subtle line that I didn't catch till the second time, which is when he's talking to Buddy earlier, and he's like, "Do you remember that guy in the last robbery?" He's like, "The 2 o'clock or the 4 o'clock?" And I'm like, "Dang, that's good. That's funny.
That's
like
good,
that they
yeah.
get robbed multiple times a day, and it's like, yeah, the 2 o'clock or the 4 o'clock robbery."
There's this fun bit that I really enjoy when he's trying to level up in the montage, and he puts a guy the guy's on fire and he puts him out, and then it just turns around and the guy like hugs him, and he runs off, and the guy gets shot.
yeah,
Yeah. And then teabag.
Yeah, and I think
So-
all the players that we see are like the way they're holding guns. One of the going back to like the world thing, like how people hold guns, like they're walking like they're characters. In a video game, they're not walking like normal. And then one of the touches that I really appreciated is in the way they change guns
Yes.
is really well
Mhm.
visualized. They just put it
Agreed.
in the back and it just
Yeah.
disappears.
yes.
it's very like Fortnite.
There's one where her knife turns into a pistol because she switched
Yes.
weapons. I thought that was all really cool.
Yeah.
One of the things I also love is how, especially like the bank robber scene when Guy gets the sunglasses, and it's revealed that
Sleeping.
the player are these two little girls.
Yes, I was gonna say the same. I'm really glad that a lot of the players we see are like a mix of like adults, but also kids.
Yeah.
It's because it's like
That man is in pieces. So sleepy.
Yeah, and then like you get to the girl's like, "What's with this NPC?" And the other and her friend is just like, "Who cares? Just ice his mother," and it cuts off.
Yeah.
It's like this movie has so many really good in jokes for gamers and or anyone who like knows a little bit about gaming cultures like that. They find that hilarious.
And also, like, you also don't have to be a gamer to just appreciate
Yeah.
slapstick comedy like that. Because like video game graphics and like physics, like they just create silly situations. But when you do that in a movie, it's like you don't have to be a gamer to appreciate just good slapstick comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, when freaking guys jumping for their bike and ball, you hear, "I came in like a wreck." Nope.
I'm so glad that song cut off because I was like,
Me
oh
too.
no.
I'm in the same boat
Yeah.
as you. Yeah.
I thought all the needle drops, honestly,
Yeah.
were really fun.
Oh yeah.
The Wrecking Ball one, I probably wouldn't have liked it if it kept going, but since it only lasted that long, I was into it.
Yep.
Notably, I also wanted to make sure that I like Jodie Comer. I also think does a great job of matching Ryan Reynolds' sincerity. The emotional beats between them, the chemistry works really well. She's matching him on all those tones. Like I'm thinking of the interaction when she says, "Maybe we can meet in like the real world," and he's like, "Yeah." Also, like another great example of Ryan Reynolds like being so good at this is when he like commits obscene violence and his reaction to it. Like I believe it. Like when he breaks that guy's arm and he's like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry."
The chaotic nature of like this being an always online game, they could have been lazy and like not had as much chaos always happening. But if you're outside in this world, there is always shit happening in the background.
Yeah.
Like every single scene has something happening. It's like, again, they didn't have to go all out, but they did.
And the background's full of stuff like the Scorpion that we talked about from Halo. All good stuff.
A dude just running into the wall.
It's so good. Yeah. Like video game shit. Yeah.
The car just changing colors.
Yeah.
Man,
I
like,
think that's all really well
this
visualized.
despite being an original like IP, this is one of the best video game movies ever made.
It's one of the best
Definitely is.
movies about video games.
Yeah.
Just like Wreck-It Ralph. I put it on that kind of level. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's the type of thing because like for some reason video games like kind of still have like a stigma with a lot of people, and it's like this is a good enough movie where like, oh man, like video games can be fun, right? Like look guys, like terrible, it's fun, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of sincerity in this movie that we've talked about that I really resonate with. I think for me all the comedy landed. I can't think of a joke that didn't land for me in this movie. I think that's all. You want to say something, Spark?
Cool voice cameos from a couple of people. John Krasinski is the guy in Shadow.
The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock as one of the robbers.
Hugh
He's the robber who
Jackman.
gets shot, and Hugh Jackman is the informant at the beginning.
Yep.
I didn't catch that one. That's cool.
Cool voice cameos for sure. The last thing I really want to touch on, and I want to make a big point of it, is the music. So the music is really good. First off, there's the fantasy, yes, which is Mariah Carey. There's a cover when he's running across the bridge at the end.
Slow.
That is Jodie Comer singing that,
That's awesome.
which
Beautiful
I found out
voice.
this week because Ryan Reynolds posted about, which is awesome.
I remember something because Anton is destroying the servers, and I was honestly very tense during that moment.
Oh yeah,
I think it's a really tense moment, and it really works emotionally because you're not sure. You're starting to get worried that he's not.
You
gonna
do
make
believe the stakes and pins and needles about
and
it.
watching all the other NPCs run away and them saving Officer Johnny from falling off.
Yes.
All of that worked so well.
Agreed. And Buddy and the Buddy moment and everything about it. Yes,
I cried when
love Buddy.
when they embrace and like, I'm gonna come to you.
I want the sequel to be about Buddy. I'll say that now.
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to talk about the music is the score is done by Christoph Beck.
Yes, it is.
Do you guys recognize the score? Ryan already knows the answer to this, so he can't answer.
I recognize the score. I don't know for more.
It's Paperman. Christoph Beck made the music for Paperman. He took the Paperman music and he restructured an entire score by redoing Paperman all
They did
over
a Jungle
Their love
Cruise.
theme, Paperman.
They did a Jungle
And it
Cruise.
is all over this movie.
I love the Paperman, and I really love the score, but I knew I've heard it before.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure where it
so
was.
Megan loves Paperman.
Yeah.
We have 2 pieces of art of Paperman upstairs in our bedroom.
We both like
Upstairs in our bedroom. It's one of her favorite things in the world. So like she was just like the second time it happened, and it's like the first ones are subtle because it is all throughout this score. It is their love theme. That's where it's most majorly clear, but it is like intermixed in forever. This score is so trenched in Paperman. It's insane. But it's Christoph Beck, so it makes sense. And like most people aren't going to know or aren't going to remember.
I really
but
like
Megan
it.
was like, this is freaking Paperman. I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Wow.
Nothing else matters.
Wild. It made made it really interesting for
Yeah.
us, but we
I-
love it.
I thought this. I really like the score. I still do. I don't.
Oh
know
no,
if
I
it's
do
supposed to
too.
be like
I don't
the-
think it's a problem that it's Paperman. It's
Yeah.
his work. Like
Yeah.
he can do it again. Like, and it's still about a love story. So that's why I think like it tonally still works and everything for me. It's just so interesting.
remember
that's
this
what
being-
happened.
I remember this being the best thing I've heard Christoph Beck do.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
I
It sounds really good.
I generally find him okay. I don't love his scores, but I love this.
This is a good one. Yeah.
I really like Fantasy. I really like that song a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it works emotionally in the movie too, because it's like a song that the girl he likes sings, so like he puts that into the character.
Right.
I love
It all
that
makes
song.
sense. It's a good song. It's
That's
a hot.
new.
It's a hot bop.
I really like Jodie Comer's cover too
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah. I this movie really works for me. I
Yeah.
love it.
I'm so glad that it's made money and people have come around to it, because it's like, man, that marketing just didn't hit, and I'm just glad a good movie is able to succeed past its
And
marketing.
I'm glad that we were able that Ben and I at least were able to convince you guys to go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that Brandon, you convinced me to go see it.
I texted Ben. I know I told the story last week, but I don't care. I texted Ben after I got out of the movie, and I was like, Ben, you need to go see this movie. I don't care what you think.
Once
Word-
the Rotten Tomatoes,
Word of mouth had sold me enough,
Yeah.
and Megan wanted to see it, so I knew I was going to end up seeing it one way
Yeah.
or another.
Yeah.
But I am glad that we got the chance to talk
Once
about
it almost hit 90% Rotten Tomatoes. I'm like, oh, word.
So right before you texted me that, Brandon, Mag actually Instagram messaged me the promo posters that were spoofs of famous video games.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Like Mario 64, Doom, Animal Crossing. It's like I'm like, man, this is really good, and they are official.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
officially made. And then when you told me, it's like, hey, you should really go see this movie. I'm like, okay,
It was the Mega Buster moment where I turned to Zara and I said,
Of course it was.
Ben.
Of course it was.
and
because
that's-
and I knew specifically because you were the one. I know Ryan was on the fence also, but you were the one who was like hardcore, like I don't want to see this.
yeah, those trailers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we rate
Rate guy.
Rate and final thoughts. Yeah.
Ryan.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Cool.
I think it's really good. Blew my expectations out of the water. I just still like, sometimes marketing can be bad, but I don't think this is the case for Venom 2. I think that movie's just going to be bad.
9.5.
Yes.
I am so glad that this movie, which was marketed to me as a Fortnite GTA or more of a Fortnite ripoff that was not going to be good, turned out to be easily in my top 10 movies of this year. I absolutely love it. I'm probably going to buy the Blu-ray the second it comes out.
Blue guy.
And
Blue shirt
I
guy.
really wanted to see this movie again. Unfortunately, I have not time. I might go see it again because I had a blast at the theater with this.
Sparks.
Yeah, I feel like I'm living between 9 and 9.5, so I'll just say 9.
Yeah. This movie. One of the things I love so much about this type of film is how sincere they are. They wear their heart on the sleeve. They're seriously hilarious.
Watch Ted Lasso next. That's super. It's positive.
I've heard
too.
it's
Yeah.
great. I've heard it's great. I love this type of film. It's super earnest. It's got a great message. It's super funny. I was in stitches. I was crying. I had an intense emotional reaction, and for all those reasons, I'm also sitting between a 9.5 and a 9. I think I'm 9. I think I'm at a 9.
Do it.
Yeah, I think I'm at a 9.
Hell yeah, baby.
All right.
All right, shall we do
I can't wait for Jodie Comer to get more major work. She's going to be a franchise person so soon, I'm sure.
Hell yeah. Get her in the X-Men.
book club?
Book club.
Book
Sounds
club.
good.
All right, it is the book club. We're here. Sparks, it was your pick this week. Take it away.
We are doing They Called Us Enemy. It's by George Takei with help from Justin Eisinger and Stephen Scott for writing it, and art by Harmony Becker. This is mostly focused on his family's time in the concentration camp, with like other context pieces both for the time period and then like for later more modern things supplied around, but it's mostly about that. And this is based off his personal experiences and then the things that were happening in history around that.
Autobiographical comic book, baby.
And
Mhm.
I've been wanting to touch this one for a while. I really, really liked it, and I'm glad that I read it. And I'm really, really disappointed in our country.
Yeah.
Oh,
This book.
Always.
I always love when you pick pick books like this that are not just comic, but also like real fiction, nonfiction, excuse me. So like this was very educational. Like obviously I knew about the internment camps, but like I didn't know the extent, like what happened. Like I didn't know like not that they were treated well, but like like there was times where like they had some nice people there. And I'm like I had a vision in my brain of what they went through, and it's not at all what I thought it was. And it's not saying that it was good or anything, but like it's so interesting to see like again how shitty our country is and how they just moved thousands of people to the middle of our country just because of what type of person they were. I'm like, God, it sucks. This is a true story, man.
So I have a few things to say about this book.
Oh,
They're
yeah?
good things. I mean, I'm not criticizing the book because the book is a fantastic. This is definitely another book where I want to say, kind of like with March back there,
Yep.
this should be taught in schools.
Oh yeah.
I remember when I was when I was in high school, and for some reason I don't know how I got in this conversation, but my friends asked me who my favorite president was, and I said Franklin FDR. Reason being is because he got us out of depression and he helped us win World War II.
Slept with his cousins.
Juicy.
I saw that movie with Bill Murray.
After reading this, that's not the case anymore. Because I also like going through school, I also knew about the Japanese internment camps, but of course the way the history, I feel this is I might be misremembering, but the way it was taught to me was like, yes, it was a bad thing, but at the time it made sense. And looking back on
That's
it now,
how they teach you.
Yeah, that's how they taught me. So reading this now is like, no, they should have never done that at all. If they were American-born citizens in these camps, and they were, and even just reading what former senators have said, like saying, excuse this, I'm just quoting the book here. It's like when senators said a Jap is a Jap, they can't assimilate. It's like they're American-born citizens here.
That's the worst one.
And even like seeing, it's a quick like 2-panel thing. Seeing after the war started, you see Japanese American citizens going to the army office saying, "I want to fight for the United States. This is wrong.
Yeah.
I want to fight for our country," and then being shunned away just because they're Japanese. It's like, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And I also agree. I am very disappointed in how our country handled that, and we get the flashback or the fast forward to when former president, that guy, our last president, did the ban on Muslim immigration, which it's of course,
and the detaining of kids,
and the detaining of kids.
I didn't realize this book was this recent of a book.
Yeah. So, I mean, as reading what's going on, I'm glad that Course.A and his family. What I can see is like it wasn't super bad, like seeing his dad become the block manager and watching his dad like grow the community and like, hey, we're a community, let's get together. It's like, okay, I mean it still sucks, but at least it wasn't horrible. Well, does that make sense at all?
It wasn't great.
I know what you're saying. Like they're and like Course.A I think does a great job of being very honest about like, it's really hard to separate childhood nostalgia memories.
Yeah, because he doesn't know what's happening.
That didn't have context and therefore were pleasant.
Yeah.
And he tries to voice that very well, I think, in the book, where he's like, no matter how much I understand now what was happening, I can't make those memories not be pleasant for what they were in the moment.
Because his parents fought so hard to make his life
it that way. Yeah. Brandon?
I wanted to highlight a line towards the end of the book that really resonated with me. I had to learn about the internment from my father during our after-dinner conversations. That remains part of the problem. We don't know the unpleasant aspects of American history, and therefore we don't learn the lesson those chapters have to teach us. So we repeat them over and over again.
Word.
That really drove home kind of the issue that I think Course.A was trying to bring up with this book, talking about this event in general, which is that the government and the American society just wants to brush this under the rug. This never happened.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
A lot of things in like that.
It's very tough. We are still trying very hard to break the concept of we were infallible heroes during World War II, which is just so not the truth.
Yeah.
The
thing that's wild to me, and it's just like, obviously, like I feel like terrible for everything that this country's done, man. Like if you live in America, you're Japanese and in the 40s, right? You get taken to an internment camp. Let's say you want to go fight the people. You want to fight Japan. You can't. They won't let you fight Japan. Then there's a point where they're going to send you back to Japan because they don't care. They just think you're what's the word, like foreign alien or something?
enemy alien.
Enemy
Enemy
alien.
alien.
So then they're going to send you to the place that they just bombed, and it's just like just the choices they were making. Like they didn't care.
Well, they had to.
They're just
They weren't going to send them. They bombed them after they were going to send them. That's what stopped his mom initially from going.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But one of the things that I found ridiculous is that we gave them pieces of paper to answer these questions. To be
So
like,
the
renounce
concept,
the queen,
the
renounce
the emperor, the concept of the no-nos.
no.
Yeah.
So like that's what I was gonna say is like I've been aware of the internment camps, like I've read about them, I knew about them, I didn't agree with, like I've been disappointed that that's something we did. I also understand the context of like, you know, this really sucks, and it's a part of like racism against Asian Americans that has gone on for today in our country. And I like this story isn't even touching on like all the non-Japanese Asian Americans who definitely suffered at the hands of this as well, just because they were lumped into being the same thing without any like paperwork looked at. Not necessarily that they got taken to concentration camps, but they suffered from some of these same things. And like it is so sucky to also learn about like the concept of the no-nos. The no-nos is just Jesus. But then also like the part, like the concentration camps suck, but the part that really like grossed me out about our country is that all Japanese Americans' bank accounts and financial assets were frozen right after Pearl Harbor. That's insane. And the way that like their lives were just like drained away from them, that they had to like do evacuation sales and they had to abandon all of their belongings and their livelihood for half the price of what they were worth. Because that's what was being forced on them. That's the part that like guts me. That it's not just the camps, but the way that they were just like had everything they worked for taken away from them over this is just so insane. And like I understand the context, like we've lived through 9/11. I understand the context of feeling upset that a part of your country was attacked and people who you are part of your nationality were killed during a war, especially. But like it doesn't justify this aggressive attack. And obviously it was a different time, but still, like it's just so awful. The realization of how we tore these people down out of like an aggression and an embedded racism that was already there, and just this just gave an excuse.
The there's one part of the book that I really loved. It was there's like the farmer guy who comes and visits them and brings them books.
Yes.
And like he gets shot at.
Shot at,
and then he still comes back a week later to give them supplies because he knows
amazing.
what they're going through. And I'm like, man, that's the type of like in all this horror, there's still humanity being held. And I'm just like, that's a beautiful little moment in like this sadness. And I'm like, it's so crazy to if you live in the 20th century and you're alive now, you have experienced the world's wars 1s and 2s, like the world's changed. I'm like, man.
And like the thing that TIMECODES illustrates of when the war was coming to its end and they were saying like, you know, you could go back to Japan or you can be here, but you know the camp's coming down, and like they created the idea that like outside of the camp you're not safe. In America, like you're no longer welcome. That's where we're at now. And like you have nothing else to base that on to know. And also the way that like the bombs affected them still within the camps, and like what they heard about it, and like thinking that was a lie at first, and then
they got a letter from their aunt saying that she was okay, but then they got a letter a week later saying that some people died.
So it was the grandparents who were okay, and then the aunt and the cousin who had jumped into the river
because they were on fire
and died.
I just thought that was all, like insane, because like he didn't want to tell them good news and bad news in one day. Man.
Because people were scared because George's mom had her parents living here in Hiroshima. So of course when the bomb drops, they're like, oh crap, and they don't know. They get the letter, grandparents are okay, but of course sadly the aunt and the cousin dies.
And how lucky they were with that lawyer who wanted to champion their case to keep his mom there, because she had not trusted that they would be safe, so she was going to end up having to go back to Japan.
Like 933 cases he took on or something.
And she and the crazy thing is that she was a natural born American citizen.
That's the worst.
Born in Sacramento.
And I briefly talked about this a few weeks ago when I was doing my Godzilla paper for school, but like Japan's was in a bad place for the next few years because we were doing American occupation, which is also something we don't talk about or teach a lot in school. But like, so like even over there, things were going to be shitty. They were going to be shitty, just like this, in a similar vein. man, but I'm glad that he gets to tell this story, and I'm glad it gets to come from this perspective.
Yeah.
I
Go ahead,
really
Brandon.
liked the ending of the book because I had no idea. I love George Takei. I think he's a wonderful human being and a great actor.
Oh my.
And
an amazing activist.
and I didn't know that his career was predominantly fueled by a need to shine a light on this.
Mhm.
And I he could be lying about it,
Yeah.
to be fair, but I really appreciate that perspective, and it gives me even more appreciation of him as an actor and an activist. The idea of going to Star Trek, and he is the only other cast member besides Spock who continues on from the original pilot into the second pilot and into the series. Because everyone else
he got
was
to meet
recast.
Nichelle Nichols.
He got to meet
early.
Nichelle Nichols
Mhm.
before they were on Star
That's
Trek.
really
that
cool.
must have been a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was I really him talking about like I did these plays and like Star Trek. I need to have Star Trek. I
Well,
need to have this show.
And I think like there's other people who have said these things about Gene Roddenberry, but just like
Oh, you mean Gene
how,
Roddenberry?
But how much he cared about this and how approachable he was and how much he was like George Takei talking about how aware in a way that other people in Hollywood hadn't been about making sure he pronounced his name right and things like that. Like
Right.
just, you know, what good fortune and awesomeness it was that he got to be the person he was and like representing the communities that he does, which is also like the homosexual community, and on top of that the Japanese American community that was affected by these internment camps and things like that, and get to work with Gene, who wants to spotlight him, make him this main character who's a sea change for how Asians are portrayed here in American media.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's proud, and he's proud of Sulu, as he should be. Sulu's a great
Absolutely.
character.
Like
oh, yes.
even with my like minor familiarity with like having actually watched Star Trek, I'm aware of like how important it is that
They
he did
even-
what
he
he did.
becomes a captain.
Yeah,
of
they
the
even
Excelsior.
go into the book like, you know, I got to be like an admiral and even a captain. I'm like, that's awesome. Good for you, bro.
Because he was like, I did 3 seasons of TV, and then I did 5 movies where I was a lieutenant commander, and then I was a captain on the 6th. And
Yep.
like I'm proud of that. And I'm like, that's awesome.
You should be.
One of the things I also want to talk about, one of the scenes of the book, it's close to the end. It's when he's doing a campaign office for this guy who's running for president. I can't remember. Aldi,
Yeah.
that guy. And then of course the murmurs around the office say that she's coming, and she being
Eleanor
Roosevelt.
Oh, this was man.
FDR's
Oh
wife.
wow, yeah.
What a scene.
So of course I'm thinking now. My brain is going, this is the wife. Like when she goes, she shakes George's hand, and he's like, and he's starstruck. And then when it's revealed that why his dad left, and it's like, yeah, he left because her husband imprisoned him and his family just for being who they were.
yeah.
I think that's an incredible part, but like I also think that George Takei does a great job of being very aware of like
Mhm.
I would live through it, but I didn't live through it the way my dad did.
Yeah.
And I didn't live through it the way my mom did.
It's-
And like being aware of that and recognizing
which
that,
is
like,
a very true thing, because as I read in the book, when he does the Sakana Beach thing to the
Yes.
guards, it sounds like son of a bitch.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, that it
And
doesn't.
I mean, I'm like, huh? I mean, probably back to the 1940s for white army men who don't speak a lick of Japanese. It kind of sounds like,
Sakana Beach.
well, you
yeah.
had to say it fast.
yeah.
That was the whole point.
Sakana.
Sakana Beach.
Sakana Beach.
it's the K. It's the K that throws it. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, just like, because he's a kid and he's pre elementary school when this
Mhm.
is going on.
Little baby.
So him going around the
He thinks sleeping in a horse stall is a fun adventure.
yeah
When in reality, it's
when
like,
rally, it's like you're
Yeah.
sleeping where the horses are,
Yeah.
and it still smells of manure. This
There's-
is disgusting.
There's one thing I really appreciate. I liken this book a lot to Mouse. I
Oh yeah, definitely.
I know there's like other books that do this, but like Mouse is I think incredible, and I think the closest thing that this book has to a parallel is Mouse. But I appreciate seeing this perspective because, as you know, we basically know how horrible the internment camps are in Germany. They're awful things. It's very easy to think very similarly about the internment camps in America. But our history wants us to see them as like the good stuff, as like, oh, it was fine, we relocated them. For safety.
Like
But what I think is really nice about this book is that it it humanizes every single person in the book by saying this was just life.
Yeah.
Life just happened here, and it was good and it was bad.
Yeah.
Right.
And for the kids, sometimes they have rosy memories, and for the adults, they don't.
Yeah.
You bring up a good point where like it's very easy, and it's I think it very much is what comes up whenever we talk about the Japanese internment camps in general, or at least when we were growing up, is that it's compared to the internment camps that were going on in Germany, and being like, yeah, okay, but I mean, like, we weren't doing that.
Mhm.
Like, we didn't have the chambers.
We weren't killing
We
them.
weren't killing
I
them. We
mean-
weren't torturing them. That's not what we were doing. We were just containing them.
Yeah.
And like by those standards, you're meant to go, well, that's true.
Oh,
It's not so bad.
That's essentially that's what was taught to me in school. It's like
Yeah.
because I remember back when I was learning about this in history class, I was like, yeah, but why did we do this? Because it's like this is just what Hitler was doing with the Jews. It's like I was like, yeah, but our camps were made to just like to hold them. We weren't killing them. I was like, that's
It was
still
for their-
messed up.
It was for their safety. This was the argument towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, dumb.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I think this is well worth a read. I think that they put together something that's very effective. I think it translate a lot of emotion and perspective from that time period and
Yeah.
what was going on in a way that like I think everyone can appreciate and should know. And I think that he does an excellent job of like recognizing that like this is my slice and it's not
Yeah.
the whole pie. Like I can only give you my slice, and I'm doing my best to give you everything I can from that. But I can never give you everything of like what everyone was experiencing there.
Yeah. I again, I love the comic book medium because this allows to tell a actual narrative story while also being educational, while also being, fiction and nonfiction at the same time. Like, I'm sure not every single thing that's explained in here is 100% true. I don't have a good memory at being 4 years old, but like maybe George is a super genius.
I think the art is really good.
The art's
I-
great.
I,
Oh,
like,
it's
I
gorgeous.
recognize the characters very well.
Well, the fact that
yeah.
he also makes it very clear that a lot of what he's talking about is things that he got secondhand from his dad.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also the comparison I make to Mouse, is that it's a very similar story structure.
for sure.
Okay. Anything else?
No,
I'm
I-
glad you picked it. I love learning.
Yeah,
Ben, it's your book club next week.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Sorry.
Okay. So stay tuned for that. All right. Next week we're going to be talking about Candyman.
Candyman.
The new.
Candyman.
We don't have a mirror.
I'm not gonna finish it.
Good. Thank you.
Make this a mirror.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about the new film. No, I'm scared to say it. So stay tuned for that, and then the week after that will be Shang-Chi. So cool
I'm
stuff.
ready.
All right,
I
guys.
can't believe
Thank
we're at
you.
another MCU movie already.
Thank you for watching, listening, whatever, what have you.
Thank you.
If you like this video, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to this channel, like this video. Check out our other things on this channel. On the audio side of things, we have on this network. On the audio side of things, we have Conversation, which is my solo show where I talk to other podcasters. New episode this week. I promise I'll get Ben's episode out. And honestly, I just needed the break, and now I don't need it, so I'm good.
All right, Matt Damon.
I'm the one who's getting Matt Damon over
All
here.
right, Jimmy Kimmel.
And of course, you can check out the other shows on this YouTube channel. For example, we have Fake Nerds Watch. We have just started What If. That episode is linked below. And we're doing Star Trek Lower Decks as well. I'm doing that with Downright Nerdy and Just a Little Podcast. Very excited about that one. There's going to be a What If special coming this week, so stay tuned for that. We talked to our good friend Mike Matola.
Well, Fake Nerds Watch special.
Fake Nerds Watch special. Thank
An
you.
MCU in review special.
Disney Plus MCU review special.
We also have Basement Arcade. We're recording new stuff for Basement Arcade as we speak.
Yes, we are.
It's happening right now.
Multiple coals in that fire.
We're doing it. We're doing it under the table. That's why you hear so much.
I'm doing something under the table.
Ooh. Basement Arcade pause menu. A new episode is up now, Ben.
Mhm.
Cindy Jacks.
Yep, episode of Cindy Jacks. My latest episode with Howard Scott Warshaw is coming up soon.
And of course the Fake Nerd Book Club. TBD when that's coming back. We're working on it. And then Animation Station. New episodes of Animation Station we're talking about. Sparks and I are probably going to do Adventure Time soon.
Yes.
And of course there's the Transformers War for Cybertron Kingdom
War.
where
And really the whole trilogy.
the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
Where I say that, Optimus Prime from the show is worse than Optimus Prime from the Bayformers movies.
And I say that the best Megatron is a complex Megatron.
And Mag says, take care, everybody. Catch you later and stay safe.
Thanks, Mag.
Smooth.
You the
Thank
best.
you, Meg. You're always sweet. course, guys, hey, there's still a pandemic going on. So check out some of our masks. You can check out our podcast masks. We have these exclusive masks. You can get them by clicking the link below. Of course, we have a Patreon. We have our TeePublic still. Our Patreon still has the T-shirt. Don't be a dick. I'm gonna start posting about that again.
That month's almost over.
Well, it's a 3-month thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So in October.
Yeah, September.
That's right.
We still got September. October is
Do
when it
you
goes
remember?
away.
Yeah. So guys, it's going away. I'm sorry for the delay on the shirts. My family, Inside Baseball, one of my family members is doing the shirts for us. They are my family's going through a rough time right now. I will get the shirts out soon, I hope. And of course, TeePublic. You can check out other shirts if you don't want to wait for me shipping out shirts. You can order them from TeePublic. You can check out all of our cool logo designs. Mike Patola's designs. I'd rather be a fake nerd than a
True fan.
true fan. Of course, we have masks up there too if you want to do that. And of course, you can find all these on our website at fakenerdpodcast.com, where you can find all these links as well as down below. Thank you to everyone who listens. Thank you to everyone who watches the live stream. Thank you to everyone who watches the live the replay. Thank you. I know it started with Bree. Thank you to Jeremy Bellucci for our themes that you heard tonight and throughout all of our shows. He does all those. So you can find him at Jeremy Bellucci Keyboards, and you can find his podcast Suburban Proctologist on iTunes, Facebook.com/Suburban Proctologist, official, and Instagram at Subproc Podcast. And you can find Mike Patola, like we said, new episode of Mike Patola soon. We're all very excited. On Instagram and TikTok, I hear it too. We dying?
That's kids doing donuts in the high school parking lot across the street. They love doing donuts in their mom's cars.
I'm sure the mic's gonna pick it up, but it sounded like a ghostly wail.
Yeah, I was like,
At first, I thought it was police sirens.
So did I.
I thought I went to ghostly wail and we were all gonna die.
No.
You can find him on Twitter and TikTok at Mike Patola.
He's the
Yeah,
TikTok.
Instagram and TikTok, not on Twitter.
He's off of
Yeah.
Twitter, but join the talk.
yeah, he made that logo right there.
There you go.
That
yeah,
one.
he did.
There we go. There we go. That's right. It's
Can-
really hard to try to do.
You can find us on
Cameras.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Fake Nerd Podcast, fakenerdguys@gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us personally, I'm at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter. Ryan,
You can find me at DJ Tony Snark everywhere.
Ben,
You can find me trying to not scream in pain because the cat that's on my lap is digging its claws into my leg at BenMagnet27 on Instagram and Twitter. Also, I write for OldSchoolGamerMagazine.com. So if you love retro video games like I do, go there and read a bunch of my articles because I have a crap ton of them up there.
Oh, yeah.
should I have linked the Kaiju Ramen article? In the so whatever, it's too late. Sparks.
Yes, you should have. You can find me eagerly anticipating the Chainsaw Man anime at SparksWitty on Instagram and Twitter. SPARKZ Witty.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music and Podcasts, and Pandora. Rate and review wherever you get us. We greatly appreciate it. And until next time you see us, guys, stay fake nerds.
Catchphrase.